Good morning, traders. How we doing out there? Who's ready to get things started? I'm excited, of course, like always, get back into the action, see what we can come up with. Pretty close in the limited account. Going to get after that funded account, of course. We'll see what happens today. Smaller stocks getting a little lift. I missed one that I'll talk to you guys about. It was a good setup, just wasn't at the desk at the right time. Went to go get a little bit of a coffee, came back, and boom, there she goes. We'll take a look at different stocks today. Tons of earnings out there. And we got to talk Trump, right? How can we continue to trade some of the action that we saw yesterday? Will it continue this strength? Find out right here on Trade the Pool. Let's get to today's playbook and see what we got up our sleeve. All right, playbook one. We get into Clean Spark. It's one that I've already talked to you guys about. I was on Trader TV on Tuesday and asked the question, right? What do I look for in these trades? Like, where can I maybe find a trade that will continue well and continue going? Well, there was one area. I talked about Bitcoin being a plus for both sides, and it looks like it was a plus for at least Trump for sure. We know that from yesterday's action as Bitcoin hit new highs and continuing to get on the alert for the crypto traders. But take a look at the miners. The miners are hot also. So keep your eyes on these stocks. Of course, I'll be looking for hourly long pullbacks. That's what I like when I'm talking Clean Spark and these other names. This is a 15-minute chart, but I'll show you guys the hourly so you can look for that pullback into that area. So I'm going to be looking into yesterday's resistance area, which was right around 12. So if we can get a quick pullback to 12, that would be my buy area. If not, it would be a breakout above the 13s. We'll see what happens. And this is all also taking a look into Bitcoin, thinking that we get 100,000 run. But I'll give you an added bonus. You guys know Money Mitch always has an added bonus in his sleeve. So hit the like for me today for here. What about BTBT? And look at this little setup. What I like about this one is that it's really, really tight. So right now I'm looking at this one as it was really looking ugly before the elections, right? Then it comes back yesterday, big spike on the gap, went up there to 410. Now maybe it could take that 420 and start working its way back to 450. That's what I'll be looking for on BTBT. You can see kind of nice bullish day. Will we get that advancing shoulders kind of look where you get that breakout towards the 450? We'll see what happens. But just wanted to give you one that you might not be watching. Remember, there's tons in this space. Hive is another one that I was watching, but I'd look for a little bit like a pullback towards that 375. We'll see what happens there in Hive. Look at this long trend line. This one looks good too. There's plenty of names in this space. Riot. I can go on. The list goes on and on. We'll keep watch on what happens. And of course, don't forget just the overall Bitcoin names, right? Like you can do Biddy, right? But it's not Biddy. It's BIB. There you go. You can do the Bitwise one. Look at this. Look at the breakout that's showing on these charts, right? And I think that that's the important thing. These breakouts show the strength here, and I'm looking to play it with the miners. All right, we'll keep watch on other stocks. Let's go to the other name here. Let's get back to it. Let's go to Google here. As you guys always hear in the intro, I've talked about it. Does Google want 200? Well, guess what, guys? We were watching this move for a while now, and now it's looking pretty. Take a look at the action here. We talked about this inverse head and shoulders for a long time, looking for the break above 170. We got the break on 170, even had an opportunity on October 29th to get the pullback at 170. Now the stock gets an earnings gap, goes all the way up there towards like the 180s, pulls back right back towards that 170. We got another opportunity, 169.49. Do you think that traders did not see that 170? No. The actual truth is, yes, they saw that 170. And now the strength is in Google, and I'm looking for this to break through the earnings high and continue going. Maybe making its way to a new high here, this 194. But I'm even looking at potentially 200 by the end of the year. So that gives a good outlook there for Google. Let's keep it going. Let's go to the third one here as we take a look at Deere. And you guys know I've been watching the industrial play as we've been talking about the interest rate cuts and how that would already help these. And one of the things that we also looked about was that Trump had talked about CAT. and Cat was making a big rip off of that. It pulled back, but of course, Trump wins and Caterpillar rips to the upside. So now I'm watching to see if Deer can make a nice rip. Yesterday, it got up there towards 415s. Can it get back to 412 today, 410, and start to push? That's what I'm looking for because Cat is way higher now. Look at the gap up on Cat. It went down, breaking through the 400, looking like it was going to break 370s this day here where it was really bad there, 367. Now look at it. It's way above the pattern. I can't chase Caterpillar, but I can look at Picard and look at Picard, guys. You guys remember I was swing trading this through the 104, talked about potentially buying it back at that spot, didn't take that shot, and that was a mistake because that was the move. As this came back to 104, it reloaded, and now look at it, 117. So the only way to play it now is to look for Deer and maybe look for the XLI to take the next step up. Look at the XLI, and we'll take a look to see if the defense names really start to push. That's one name that traders are not watching in the Trump trade. So added bonus. Money Mitch doing a lot of research here for you guys. And the real key is looking at these types of trades. Alert going off in the background here for me. You guys will see it. BTBT, less than the $4 spot. So I'll keep a watch on that for you guys. We can take a look at RTX, and all these defensive names could continue getting love with Trump in office. All right, that's a little added bonus, and I got plenty more towards the action. So do me the favor, hit the like button if you guys enjoy getting the playbook every single morning. And of course, you guys can check this out on our Twitter. If you guys don't have our Twitter already, definitely check out Trade the Pool. We put the playbook out for you guys. And if you could do me the favor, hit the retweet. I want to see some more retweets of this so more traders can at least see these ideas. Like always, it's not investment advice. It's to show you guys how to approach the way that I approach the playbook every single morning. All right, let's get to the stock market action. We'll take a look into the show. I'm ready to go trading, guys. And we got to talk about the limited account because it's getting to that area where, in 1 to 2 trades, I could be funded. So with that being said, got to get a little bit pickier, but I did see a really nice setup this morning. It's already moved. That was CYN. So let's take a look at some of the smaller stocks. We'll take a look at the bigger stocks. We'll run through the Sunrise report, right? That's what I want to get to also. We'll get through that during the show. We'll talk about earnings, and we'll run through all the earnings stock. But first, I want to take a look at some of the penny stocks. We'll get into that action with the kickoff of the show. So let's get things going. You know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool, and it's another beautiful day. It's Thursday already. Man, this week is flying by. Let's get to the action.
Google wants 200, baby.
You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money. It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at.
What's going on, team? How we doing out there? Let's go ahead. Let's get things started. We're ready to get after it and see what we can come up with today. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, let's see what else is out there. It looks like not many of you guys in right now. Got to get some more traders in here. I'm wondering why there's only a few of you guys. So do me the favor, hit the like button, guys. Definitely want to smash it up. Now we're getting a little bit more traders out there, but definitely. Sorry if you guys are joining a little late. Wonder what went on there. Definitely you can rewind to catch the playbook. But we'll get right to the action. Ready to trade, ready to see what I can come up with today, guys. So let's go ahead. Let's see what's going on here and what we got going on in the action. First up, I'm going to be watching, of course, some defense names in the Trump. We'll get into that action to see what we can trade in the Trump names. Of course, there's a lot to take a look at there. We'll be watching to see what else is out there. But definitely, you know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool. Let's take a look and talk about the limited account. As you guys know, I've been taking a shot on this. And I'm going to bring you guys, my trader area, right? I'm going to go right to the trader area. I'm going to show you guys it. I'm going to walk you guys through it. This is the full transparency that I really like to show you guys, because the truth is you guys get to see me go through the battles every single day. And I hope you guys enjoy that, right? It's not easy, right? It's not easy. And I I miss him and my man Mustafa. So shout out to my man Mustafa and Steve in the chat. If you guys are listening in, it's good to see you guys out there. Definitely trade the pool, guys. You guys know I've been going after this limited account, and this is the new one, right? Where only you got to get to 1350. I got 756, guys. I've been up towards 800, and you guys can see it 807. I've been up to 829. We got to get through this. We can do this, guys. We're really close, and we got to keep pushing. And look at it. The success rate has been 33%. It doesn't need to be, you don't need to be 90% accurate to make money. What you need to be using is good profit to loss management, right? And that's what's helped me, right? Big wins, cutting those small losses, taking more losses. But to tell you the truth, if the big wins cover 4 or 5 trades, that's how you do it here, right? So we'll see what happens here. If we can go ahead and get to the next one, you can see just recently we just had a little loss there, about 51. But you can see the wins. The wins are big. I've been winning now lately. I've been pushing it towards 400s. And before it was like 200s. But now I've just been kind of taking some nice trades there. And we'll see if we can catch one today in some of the smaller names. And you can see here, they're all small cap names. The biggest name was a VIXI trade, and it was a loss. So that's the only trade I would say that I did it away from the small caps. Hey, let's go ahead. We'll see if we can get the limited account. And you guys can check out the limited account. Of course, go to Trade the Pool. Check it out, guys. If you guys haven't done so already, definitely hit the link. Check it out, guys, and get that limited account before the end of the year. That's when they're going to, review it. We won't know if they take it away, but I'll tell you one thing. I don't want to wait to that. I want to be funded before that. So let's go. Good morning, ARM. All right, let's take a look at some of those. Good morning to all. Let's get to the action. All right, we'll take a look at ARM. Let's go take a look really quickly before we get into some of the small cap talk and earnings talk. Of course, we're looking here to see if this was going to make its way up into this spot. It did, and then it eventually turned right back down. So in this case, I need to take like a new assessment in ARM because you see this pattern doesn't really work anymore, right? So let's just erase all and do a new assessment here. So what I would do is I'd first go towards like a weekly look because, of course, one of the things is this looks like very choppy action. So if anything, I'd work even backwards. When things look choppy, I go back because what it might be doing, it might be trading on a more of a monthly approach than a weekly approach. So I can see here that there was a lot of like kind of resistance and support around 99 and 141. Now we've gone above and below that a couple of times in the last week. In the last weeks, we've gone above that all the way up there towards 190 and have gone back down towards that 99. Now I want to see it kind of recover the support here. So I'm going to pull it a little bit lower because of the weekly, but you saw me actually use this number and make it. Why? Because of more of a monthly approach. So I'm pulling it back towards like this 136 area. Now I look at the daily and I can see a lot of support around that 136.35. I can adjust it a little bit further. I can say, okay, closer towards like 135.77. And we have a couple of wicks that have gone to 132.80. So pretty much even yesterday, even today, 134.23. So around that area, 135, I think is your support, right? So I would make that a little bit thicker here and I'd rewind back and I'd be like, okay, so now how does the chart look? So the chart looks like it's a bounce back like this, right? It's a big bounce back that's now holding a big support and now can start working its way back towards the upside of this move. So we want to see it kind of work its way back, especially back through 155. But what you're looking for, can it work its way back into this kind of channel and start working its way back up towards 170, right? So the first level to look for is a little bit of a closer level. It's going to be over here towards your 145. Can you make a bullish engulfing candle going towards the 150? That would be the turnaround look. I feel like if you're trading ARM to the upside today, you're a little early on the daily trend, but that doesn't mean that it can't make the move. And you see it already getting a nice little spike here. We'll see if it can really hold on and start to recover, make that nice little push. So nice looking level here. ARM getting a nice little push, and we'll keep watch to see what happens there in ARM. Can they keep pushing? Find out, guys. All right, let's go to some of these smaller names. CYN was the one that I was looking at this morning. that I almost traded it. I will tell you guys that I was watching, I was keeping a close eye on it, looking for the move. And then by the time it actually gave us like this first action, I had already seen it, and I was wanting it closer towards like 530s, 540s. And this was already trading there at like 550s with an offer at 560. And I wanted 540s. So I put out an order at 540s, and it just broke out right there. And it just ran away from me. It went all the way up there closer towards 6, and then started to pull back a little bit to the 90 MA. I probably would have taken profits into that 580s, 590 area, just from the 540s. It would have been a nice little $400. And that right there would have got me what? Within $100 of the account. So, hey guys, I'm focused in. I'm ready to get after it today. Let's see what we can come up with. But CYN now pulling back a little bit. So trading on more of a deeper time frame chart. So I'd go to the 15-minute, and I can see it that it's pulling back and still holding in, right? As long as it can hold this kind of support, this 510 area, and I'll pull it to $5 just to make it a little bit rounded, right? And so at $5 is support right now. If it can hold that, it's still in the bullish sense. Looking at more of the hourly is holding really well. So if this hourly can go green, this is something to look at. Of course, this candle started there at, of course, 9 a.m. No, actually 8 a.m., right? So this is the 8 a.m. candle that will be closing up at 9 a.m. So we'll see what happens on CYN. Can it make the lift? Maybe it gets a little bit of that kind of chopping pattern, right? So it made a big push, then pulled back, then gave you the second ride up, then has pulled back. It's giving you that third attempt towards the upside, then can give you like that one more pullback look closer towards 5 towards the open, and then the breakout back towards 6. That's what I'll be watching for on CYN. BNZI, another one making a recent move. I did not catch this one, as this one just moved here at 8:30, right before we opened the show. This one's at $3, looking interesting right now. Up 1, down 1, up 2, pullback. I like the recovery of that $3 here. I might go in this one, guys. Let's go focus in, see what I can do here. All right, so this one has 375 opportunity. So I can go up to, like, let's say 500 shares, 600 shares. That's more than perfect here. So I'm going to do 200, get in with the starter right now. Ooh, that's a market order. It's not going to fill. I got to go for the limit. Trying to get a starter in right there. Starter there. Now going to look for below $3 to add here. Got a starter in there. Wanted to at least just make sure I got a little bit before it ran here, just in case I got a quick little run. Getting a pullback back towards the $3. Would like to see around 297 hold, 299. So that's where I want to get in here. I'm focused in. I'm zooming in here, trying to get a little bit of a re-entry. There you guys have it. Just got an entry there on that quick pullback. I'm down now 400 shares to 299, down like about 10 cents there. So let's see if it can recover 3 here. That's really what I want to see. It hold the support. Support is closer towards this body, but it has wicked down here before towards the next layer, which is 280. So that's kind of like the real danger spot here. Looking for a 3 recovery back up towards 350. Got 400 shares. Back through 308. I'll take another 100 shares. What's going on out there? Would you be able to show your VWAP setting, please? Yeah, Mohit, I got that. I got you. I'll take a look at that in just a second here. I'll definitely pull it up. What's going on, everybody? Good morning to you guys. Starting it off right here, going long on BNZI, and already taking a little bit of some pressure here. Definitely didn't want it back towards this 280s. Getting a hit here, guys. So let's see what happens. Let's see if this can recover that wick action. Of course, like I talked about, a lot of times you get wicks or tricks. So I'm looking right now on the 1 minute. Is this a wick trick? And it starts to recover. But other than that, I got to get out. Definitely 275. Won't push it there too much. All right, so 400 getting ready to get out here. And you guys can see me just making sure that I'm ready to get out if needed. It's kind of that wick test here. So the key is the recovery on the next candle. So the next candle can test down that wick, but it shouldn't close down there, right? So now we should get our recovery back towards 3, what I call like a 9 EMA recovery. So we just broke that 9 EMA on the downside. We need to recover that 9 EMA. Here's a test on the downside, getting hit right now, getting that test here through the 70s. Definitely just got to let it go here. So hands on the trigger here, ready to get it out. Let's see if it just recovers back up towards the 290s. There's some volume starting to come in here, so that could shake things right back through the 280s. Look at the offer now moving back towards that 280s. Let's see if it can start to rebounce here, get off the 290s. Back through 310s is really what I want to see on the reaction. So it's still looking pretty decent to give you that trend line approach where it hits here and then recovers back up through this. That's what I'm watching right now, especially a close back into the green candle with this wick action here. It's going to show you that there could be some buyers stepping up right into this area. Of course, I might have mistimed the buy here at like 299, but this seems like good buy action right here on this area. So let's see if they can start to turn this back to the upside. Another thing to look for is, like I've talked about, so I don't buy off indicators, but I want to get it to start crossing over to show me that, yeah, that the momentum's here and I got the timing right. Right now, this is showing me that I might not have the timing correct. But let's see if the light blue line all of a sudden takes a quick move to the yellow. All right, ready to get out if needed. And of course, take the hit and get out. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with taking a hit. The key is understanding where the action is and where the turnaround could be. So back through that low, of course, let's say through 70s. Yeah, you're not going to want to be in this name anymore, at least for me. You guys can stick around if you guys want. We'll see what happens. It's definitely pressuring right now. We'll see if we get the comeback. We got the turn here that could happen here. Just need a big candle towards 3. Let's see if it starts to take off and gives us that big candle. We need that nice bullish engulfing look, like a candle like this to the left-hand side. You see how this one went from around 280s, and then right here it hit 295 and went all the way to 334s. Big candle. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see if we get it there. 280 starting to recover back through 3 at 310. I will add and look for the bigger swing here in BNZI. Let's see if we get it. All right, taking a look around there. How can you see the bid and offer spread on Trade the Pool? I'm getting hammered on pre-market trading without this info. Okay, so this is what you want to do. And you can do this on the chart. So I'm going to show you guys how I do it on the chart here. Let me go ahead and detach my chart so I can show you it here. And you see it on the right-hand side. And so you guys can see it compared to even an expensive paid service on the left-hand side. Look at the speed comparison. It's pretty fast, guys. Like it's pretty identical, right? I mean, you can see the action there. But what you want to do is put this line. So what I recommend is you do it like this. So let me go ahead and try to focus in at the same time, you know, because the thing is with limit orders, you got to be careful here in the pre-market. But you got to go to settings. You want to go here into your you want to go into the price scale. Scroll down to highlight prices, scale marker, line with price. And then now with the line with prices, you can see what I have here, this red and blue line. You can make it, you know, bigger if you want, or a different color to make it stand out more. But this is giving me the offer and the bid right on the chart. And I really like this. And the yellow is the last price, right? So starting to get a comeback here in BNZI. Let's see if we can really take 3 and start to move here. All right, guys, I'll add another 200 if we start to break that 310 spot. That's the area where I could really kind of add there. We'll see if we break 3 here. We have the opportunity to. Let's see if it does it. All right, and you guys get to see the action right here on the chart. I make the line a little thicker here so you guys can see my position. See that I'm down a little bit here. We'll see if this starts to climb back. You guys know the way I feel about this one. And taking a trade right here in pre-market. One of the advantages that you get on Trade the Pool. Where else are you guys getting that advantage? At least I think it's really awesome for us to be able to trade the pre-market here. And especially for the smaller names, that's what I kind of like here. All right, we'll see if this can climb back here. How's the MACD now looking? So I'm going to go back towards my MACD, start to see, is it going away or is it coming to it? And you can see it came to it for a second there and now went away from it. That's not good action. We need this to curl right back up. If not, we'll probably get hit out the 270. All right, so another thing to do is if this comes back to 299, I have the option of always downsizing. If you ever feel like you're getting pressure too much on the downside, one thing you can do if the stock comes back in your favor and it comes back near your break even, it's okay to cut some of the size and be like, maybe I went a little bit too big. Does this apply on mobile? Yes, you can do it on mobile too. So I do it on the mobile too. So, hey. And you wanted to see VWAP settings. I'll show you that in a second here. Just getting a test on BNZI. So I just want to focus in here, make sure I don't get wiped out. All right, 400. Ready to get out. Hands on the trigger here, guys. Needs to come back, and there's some buyers right underneath it, but it's going to maybe come to them. So that's the only concern that I have, is that they're at the 64s. I've given this one the chance to come back. Now back down there, I really got to get out of it. Now it's given that nice kind of bottoming approach. Now it really needs to get back to the VWAP 311. If not, it's going to probably break down and go to the next layer on the downside. Next layer on the downside could be down to the 250s. And I do see some traders lining up for that move. So I got to be careful with that takedown. Right? So the key here is not to get caught too much in the pre-market. It's okay to take a haircut, not okay to take the complete cut, right? So that's why I'm trying to keep it really within like $100. You saw it there about like 120. So trying to keep that in we saw about 114 there. So trying to keep that in perspective, right? Let's see if it starts to climb back. We'd already went there to 294 and turned back around. So we wanted to clear that space again. That's that 293 spot. Let's see if we can get a big bar back towards that and then take 3 in a hurry. So that's the other thing, is that a lot of times when you want these stocks to move and you're timing them, you want them to go fast. Now this is getting tighter. You see how the yellow has gone down? Now the blue can make a quick move towards it. All right, let's put this chart as big as it can here. As I'm breaking down the trade, might as well give it to you as big as it can get here. We'll see if it can start making its way back towards 3 here. Make a little trade in the pre-market. I do need to get towards the sunrise report, so we'll talk a little bit more about that, guys. All right, how we doing out there? Good morning to you guys. You guys are tuning in. What happens when your stop loss is hit pre-market? Does it stop out straight away? No, it should not. At the end of the day, the stop loss, at least on the chart, should not activate, because stops, of course, are what? They're market orders. So they have to be limit orders in the pre-market, right? So we'll see right now, do we get the crossover and do I get that move? And this is why I talk about a description. Of course, I got in this before I saw the crossover, but looking to see if I get the crossover as a confirmation method. All right, let's see if we can get this move here. We're back towards 295. I could downsize here, but I'm looking for the move here. Let's see if we can get it through and get through the 3 spot. Then 310s is where I want to kind of add another maybe 200 shares. Really look for the breakout towards 350. And there's 380 available all the way at the top end. We'll see if we can actually break out here and BNZI. All right, 297 there available again, and it cools back towards that 290 area. Let's see if the 290s gets rebought here and they take 3. All right, seeing that bid, there's some bidders right there at the 290s. And you can see the volume getting filled there at the 290s. Now back into the 288s, and there's some bid back, but that's towards the 280s here. So let's see if it can hold here, the 280s. If not, it could start coming all the way back down. It's trying to hold and make the break. It hit the trend line, right? You can see the trend line approach there. It hit it right on the hammer. Now we got to see it actually break above that. So now I want to see the 9 EMA curl back above this trend line with the price action going to the VWAP. So essentially, I'd be looking for the price action to get up into this space, right? Because that's going to give us a nice momentum move where it approaches this resistance is 315 and could break that really quickly going towards like 340s and 350s. Let's see if we get that momentum move right here in BNZI. ZI. And do me the favor, guys, smash the like if you guys enjoy me breaking down trades just like this, showing you the filled orders, where most traders never, ever show you all of this. They just don't. And why? Because the truth is they don't want you looking at their hand, right? So we'll see what happens out there, guys. How we doing in there, Shane? Thoughts on short on app today? It's super extended. Let's take a look at app. I know that was a big one there. We'll take a look at that action here. I want to go away from this, guys. I want to go focus on different stocks out there. I'm sorry that I'm focused a little bit too much on this. If I could put a stop, I'd probably put a stop and just kind of watch it there. There's some downside I got to protect to here. Be careful there. Quick downside there. As it was looking like it was going to pop on 3. It hit 3, guys, and then turned back around. Was there a big seller there? Seems to me like there was something there that we ran right into. So big seller at 3. Could not get through that 3 spot. I couldn't see it there, so it could have been on the dark pools there. So we got to be careful here for a downside approach now. We've had a couple of approaches for this to hold here. I'm looking for a takeout of that 3 on the next time it approaches that, because it's been a couple of times now. We've had 1, 2, 3 times to try to break out over 3. I need on this 4th time, it needs to break it. If not, you get a downward approach here, and you're getting it already. So a lot of times when you hit resistance and you can't break it out, you get a pullback to support. This is why a lot of times I'm looking to add on supports and things like that for kind of the rule of 3. But the rule of 3 tells me I've been up there a couple of times now, right? We've been up in there in this spot 3 times, right? So on the 4th attempt, if it doesn't go, I got to get out. All right, here's that approach here. Let's see if we get it. All right, guys, setting up here for the move. I have an ad ready to go. I have it below the name right now, but I'm going to cancel it here on the down action. That was a quick whip here. Be careful, guys. Looks like we could approach a nice cut down right now, so I'm watching it right here. Got to be careful here as it starts to pull back. That was a close move towards that 293s. It's a fail there, so I'm being careful here. If it approaches the support, got to get out. The truth is right there, we had a great opportunity to get through 3, and it just doesn't want to get through right now. So I'm giving it the chance to pull back and reload here. But other than that, if it comes towards that 270, got to be careful. It's going to be a quick sweep to the downside. So playing both sides here, but you guys can see that 3 there really being pesky. Let's see what happens. It approached it right there. Didn't get through the trend line, though. You see how it respected the trend line? That's very algorithmic of it to respect that trend line approach. That's that technical look. We still haven't gotten a close above the trend line. We've gotten wicks at the trend line. Wicks could be tricks. Got to be careful. 270 showing up here, about to get out. Got to be careful here, guys. There it recovers for a slight second, but it could wash in any moment here. There's a big order. Look at that big order at 270s. 51,000 shares there at 270 now. You got to be careful because that could fill and it could actually wash down here. So I'm just watching to see if it runs away from that order at 270. So the 270 order, you guys can see it on my screen there on the right-hand side where I have the market depth. That's what I'm watching, that 270 order. Literally just watching that like a hawk. I could care less where it is on the offer right now. I'm just watching that bid, that 270, making sure that that doesn't just get quickly filled because it could be coming down there. So what I want to see it is actually essentially run away from that 270 order. You see how it's approaching it pretty fast here. That's why I think it's important to watch here. It's a little dangerous. It's a big order there. Here comes that 270. Here comes that order. You see how it's getting filled right now? It was 51,000. Now it's 48,000. Now it's 44,000, 42,000, 40,000. 40,000. I want to see if it reloads. What did I mean by reloading? So you see right there, it went to 39,000. It just reloaded 1,000 shares back to 40,000. That looks like an algorithm trying to put a little bit of a wall up at 270. So you see now it's 37,000. So I'm watching the action, describing it for you literally moment by moment. Sorry, Mitch, I went against you to short the side and close for a 200 profit at 275. Get it, day trade Tony, get it. Hopefully what it can do now is pop through 3 and we both made money, my friend. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, I got no problem with you making money on the other side of things, even if it's on my other side. The truth is, we're all in here to make that cash, man. There's no hard feelings, man. I appreciate you telling me and making that money. All right, we'll see if it gets back up there towards that 3. To me, 25 cents there. I look for a little bit bigger move. Maybe I just need a bigger sizing, but hey, we'll see if it gets back up there through the 3 spot. It just bounced off that 270 order. It didn't want to go through it, but it could still go through it. So just being careful here. Need to see the whipsaw back to the upside. There's that cut down, guys. Got to be careful here. Stops just got activated and it came right back up, but there's 265. Got to be careful here, guys. Definitely need to get out. Oof, getting out. Trying to get out here. No fill. There's the fill. Got out there, guys. 264. Took the hit. 144 down there. We'll see what happens on BNZI. We got to bounce back today, guys, on the limited. That's all good. Just one little hit there. We'll still bounce back. We still got about a 150 there to risk on the next trade. That we'll get after it there. Wanted to keep it towards 100, but did get undercut there. That order did get filled there, and that's what happened there. You can see it, the 270s, 12,000 shares right here. So now it could still come back, but this is one that I'll watch a little bit later towards the open. Let's get to the sunrise report. I'll go to the main account so I don't focus too much on this right now. Let's go to the main account. Let's talk about some, of course, of the sunrise report. Let's get to that action. Let's talk about what's going on in the market today. What's moving? What should we be looking at? Let's go to it. Hey guys, of course, today, looking ahead, the focus is all about what? It's all about interest rate decision with Jerome Powell's press conference. Of course, that comes out at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. That's going to be the release from the Fed's website. If you want to catch that, just go to the Fed's website and definitely throw it up in a nice AI and get a quick read to understand what's going on. Then at 2:30, what does he do? He reads that press release. He literally reads it word for word, and then he takes questions. That's when the fireworks could really start. One thing to think about is, does he change tune? Because on the last meeting, of course, he was saying that there was going to be multiple 50 basis points cuts, right? And that there was this quick kind of cutting strategy that they were going to be looking at. Will they continue that? Or will they slow things down? All things to think about. One thing is, of course, a lot of investors will be looking for any conversation about inflation because, of course, the way that Trump's policy is intended, it could cause inflation in China, right? From products coming from China and all those tariffs. We'll see what happens there, right? And I think that that's something that they'll be watching for in any Fed comment. But let's get to some of the earnings. First one up, we'll talk about Qualcomm. Let's get to Qualcomm here, as it's at 182.69 this morning, was getting the lift, but now pulling back. Let's talk about their earnings. They beat expectations here at 269 versus a 256. Revenues at 10.24 billion versus a 9.9 billion. Forward guidance on Q1 revenue expected at 10.5 billion to 11.3, surpassing the consensus there. There was some good growth highlights here. We can talk about the handset chips that were up 12%. Automotive sector soared 86%, marking the 5th consecutive quarter of growth. They've definitely focused on the automotive sector, and this is really giving them an advantage. I remember I went to their automotive event in New York City. Yes, they invited Money Mitch to go to their event. I've actually spoken to the CEO. I've actually spoken also to the AI automotive executive there, and things looked great, and they've continued it now with the 5th consecutive quarter growth. That was right after that event. So great observation there in the automotive sector for chips growing in vehicles, right? You guys see it all the day. So that's one thing that they're definitely doing great. Internet of Things revenues rose 22%, powered by industrial Meta devices and Microsoft partnerships. They did announce a new $15 billion share repurchase program that was approved. So Qualcomm, looking great, guys. One thing that's interesting about this one is that it was sideways for so long. What does that usually do? So for me, I know that people view that as consolidation, but that tells me that there was a big buyer that was in this. So look at all the volume that you're seeing on multiple days where this stock really wasn't going anywhere. So I think that someone really loaded up into the 170 spot. So now you're seeing that 182. Can it pull back to the 175 resistance, somewhere into that area? Let's say maybe 178 to 175 is what I'll be looking for as a nice pullback area for a buy in Qualcomm. We'll see what happens there. Looks interesting. Let's go to Elf Beauty. Elf Beauty is definitely one to talk about today. Let's talk a little bit about it here on Elf, ELF, getting the lift there with big pop, 126.24. Can it continue though? I don't know. I don't know how much exposure Elf has to China tariffs. That's my only concern with this play today. But the earnings, a great surprise here. EPS 77 cents versus a 43-cent outlook. That's a big beat on the EPS there. Revenues 301 million, with of course beating the 286 million expectation. They raised the guidance. Full year sales expected at 1.32 billion and 1.34. CEO insights, multiple generational appeal, securing self-expansion at Target and Walgreens is really helping them, and strong gross margins at 71%. Yes, you heard that right. 71% on Elf. Really, really good move here, guys. And I think that we got to watch to see how this will affect Ulta, right? Will Ulta get the lift on this, or will they get the hit? You can see right now they're starting to bounce back. This was starting to look ugly, but now what does it look like to you guys? What is that pattern? You guys in the chat, who's going to be the first one to name this pattern right now? I'm looking for it in the chat. Who's naming the pattern? Tell me, guys. Tell me who's naming this pattern. Who sees what I see there? And now let's go to the weekly. See if you can see it a little bit better here. Yeah, you could still see it there. I mean, I'll make it as big as I can here, but I could see it there. That looks like something. Cup and handle, says Mohit. I don't think the cup and handle. What do you guys think there? I'll give you a clue. It was the same pattern that I saw in Google. The same pattern that I saw in Google. What was that pattern? The inverse head and shoulders. There you go. There you go, guys. That's what I'm seeing here. The head and shoulders, the inverted one, right? Do you guys see it? I see it here, guys. Definitely. And the reason why I see it is, let's go to the daily. I'll draw it on the daily here, and you guys can see what I'm seeing and see if you guys see it. And put a 1 if you agree with the pattern. Put a 2 if you don't agree. It's okay if you don't agree. Like, don't ever get it twisted, guys. I want you guys to stay real to the way that you see things, right? So the way that I see it, and I'll tell you right now, the hardest thing to draw on any head and shoulders is what I call the neckline. The neckline's that line that you're looking for the breakout above. And that's why some people don't even like head and shoulders patterns, because they're very hard to define. So this is the left shoulder, the right shoulder, and the head action is on that bottoming dip. So it's the same thing. And what you want to see these on are on big pullbacks on the bottom of trends to see for the turnarounds, right? So this actually looks pretty good here. Looks like it's turning around. It could start approaching that 400, going for 420. Now, one thing I'll tell you guys about Ulta, I always look for this one for a Santa Claus rally. Will the Santa Claus rally come early this year? Maybe it goes for a Black Friday rally. Things to think about. How much exposure does it have to China? I always tell you guys both sides of the coin. That would be the bearish side, that it has monstrous exposure and going to get destroyed on tariffs. The other side is, hey, inverse head and shoulders going towards the holiday time. Retail is going to be watching this. This is what I call stock story. And story is so important to understand. What's the story in this stock? The story is Buffett supports it. It has a nice bottoming pattern on the inverse head and shoulders, so the technicals support it. You go into the fundamentals, look at what the analysts are saying about Ulta. I'm sure they're looking at it as a buy, and probably you got to look at price targets, but we can do that. We can take the assessment if you guys want. But then you look at all the variables. Those are the types of things that you can take more swing trades and watch for the momentum on the intraday to continue. We'll see what happens there on Ulta Beauty. Let's keep it moving. Let's go to the next one here. We'll talk a little Moderna. Moderna getting the lift, of course, on COVID mentions and COVID vaccine mentions. But to tell you the truth, I mean, how much lift is this really? It's a nice pop, but it's like 9%. It's a good pop. I mean, the EPS here of 3 cents with an expected loss of $1.90. So at least they broke even, right? A surprise profit here. Sales outlook projected at $3 billion to $3.5 billion in 2024. The growth areas, new COVID and RSV vaccine boost. So there's like a combination vaccine. I don't know, guys. I don't get any of these. I don't know if you guys are interested in this kind of play. Moderna, to me, it just doesn't seem exciting. Even though it gets the pop here, doesn't look like a sexy trade for me. We'll just keep it moving. Let's go to Lyft. Lift off here in Lyft. Look at the push and lift, guys. This made a move from 14 all the way up there to 1840s, holding strong this morning. We'll see if this continues to beat here. Q3 revenues of $1.52 billion, top the estimate. Strong Q4 guidance here, boosting the shares nearly 20% on that pop. Solar Edge, as the solar stocks take a big beating there, guys. Big beating. This is starting to bounce back, but it's not looking good. Q3 earnings missed and slumped here. EPS at a loss of $15.33. What the hell is going on here in Solar Edge? I don't know if this company will be around by 2025, man. I don't know, man. I don't like this stock one bit here. Things are looking horrible in the earnings. We'll see what happens there. There is one more that had some pretty good earnings, and we can take a look at Uber in a second. I got you. We'll take a look at that. There's one right here. WBD, guys, and look at this. You ready? You ready? Boom, baby. Boom, baby. Warner Brothers opened up this morning. We are killing it, baby. We're killing it, guys. We're killing it. Oh, man, this is looking good, guys. This one might be my first $2,300 winner in this account. And I opened it up this morning. Take a look, guys. Take a look. This was off this earnings. And I said, you know what? Money Mitch has something up his sleeve today. He's feeling it. He needs to bounce back. Baba cost me big. So I said, let's find one to take a swing that's lower price. And look, a good earnings report. Let's go. Let's go. Warner Brothers killing it there, guys. Even at 950, I mean, that was a monster win there. Guys, we are doing great on this trade. 925. We'll look to see if this can continue going. I'm looking for a push towards like 960s. But, I mean, I could take the money and run already. It's already a really nice trade. This is a nice one. We'll see what happens there. 1,300 already, guys. Looking for a nice $2,000 trade. We'll see what happens there. Long Warner Brothers from 871. It's at 925. Was just up there to 950s. I'm keeping an eye on this. I have a sell towards the 961 right now. So we'll see if we get back above that 950s. And I'll sell into the 950s too. So like I'm not being too picky there. I'm just trying to see it up there. I didn't see it when it was at 950s just now. But keeping a very close eye on this. If it can go back into that spot, can't be too picky. Got to take that money and run. All right. I'll even lower it a little bit. I'll lower it to like 58 right now. It's going to be sitting there. And just in case I'm not watching it and it hits, boom. At this point, what I can also do is this is a break-even trade, right? No matter what, I won't lose on this position. It's break-even. If it comes back to me, it cuts me out. But great swing here, guys. Great swing. All right, let's get to the action. Let's go to Uber, and we'll take a look at some different stocks out there. But I wanted to show you guys that one. That was a good one. I was talking about that this morning, and man, really good trade there. So let's get to of course, let's go back to the main account. We'll focus in there. Took a loss on BNZI. Keeping an eye on that one. It's back down to 240s. I talked about how the 250s could have had some big buyers lined up there. So it could come back later in the day, one that we can keep a watch on. CYN. Look at the drawing I did on this thing, guys. And there it goes. So this one was looking really good on the choppy action, was looking for one more pullback and then the break to the upside. It's doing it right now in the pre-market. Do we go for it right here at 550s? That's the hardest thing because it's 10 minutes before the open. This could either run for 10 minutes and get up there in 650s in a hurry, or it could take one more pullback approach. So that's the hardest thing here to determine on CYN. But I like it. I like it, guys. What do you guys think about this one? We literally did this drawing, and it's starting to do well. Are you guys bullish CYN? Put a 1 if you're bullish CYN. Put a 2 if you're bearish. I want to get some more engagement going, especially in the pre-market. Once the trading's going on, I try not to deter you guys. I try to let you guys focus. But definitely, if you guys can help me by dropping in the chat, letting me know what do you guys like or what do you don't like. It's the pattern. And it's not about if you guys are trading it or not. Just the pattern. That's it, guys. That's what it's all about. That's how we help each other. That's how we tell each other, no, I don't like that pattern. And why? Things like that, right? We can all learn from the strengths and weaknesses. 2, since it's testing VWAP. All right, that's an interesting, a no like, but we got some likes earlier, right? And that's what I want to see out there, guys. Let's keep it moving. Let's see what we can come up with. It looks like you guys are working on the mobile kind of situation. Reach out to our customer service, if anything, if you're still having problems with that mobile on getting that line. I have it on the mobile. I just don't want to take too much time to see like how I can kind of fix that for you. But I'll be watching it, man. If anything, if by the end of the day, like towards 11, you haven't gotten that fix, let me know, Saint. I'll take a moment and I'll open up my app. And I have it here, guys. I use it all the time. You guys know I sometimes keep positions open. And then I'm like, well, how am I going to trade it? Well, this is a situation like, let's say for like the swing trade right now that I have a big swing trade on, right? Well, I'm going to keep up with it right here, right? That's where I can keep up with it. And you guys can see it here. It's looking good. It's looking good. So keep that account open. Keep the app open. If you're not using the app, definitely have the app, traders. It's a good backup also. Let's say if your internet goes out, internet crashes everywhere. I'm not trying to fight my internet and be like, oh, come back, internet, please. No, I'll immediately go to my phone and protect my position. This right here could save you thousands. So, smash the like, guys. Let's keep it moving. We'll see what else is out there. And trust me, I use it. And just to kind of show you really quickly, let me just open up like WBD here. So you'll see the blue line. You'll see the light blue line and the red line on it. I just want to show you it. So you see the blue line and the red line. So you can do it, Saint. You can do it. I just don't want to take the moment here. And what do you see on the bottom there? The MACD, baby. The MACD. That's my setup for my mobile. Check it out, guys. All right, let's get back to the action. Let's go. Let's go. Do you ever take a no trade day, Mitch? It's very hard on this show, Shane. I used to do it more and more when I used to be able to trade with other traders. I'll tell you guys, I've only done it once on this show. Only one no trade day. And what I'll do on those days, Shane, if I really feel like it's a no trade day, I can maybe look at swing trades and have something different, right? So think positional, like what can look good for a little bit days out or something like that. That can help you too. Because I feel like sometimes like we do this so often, it's like, let's say a basketball player, they practice a free throw or a shot a million times, and then they go to the court and they just sit there. they're going to want to take the shot, right? Because shooter's going to shoot. That's what they say in basketball. It's the same way in trading. A shooter's going to shoot. So one of the things you want to do is have maybe different exposures, different accounts that you can have maybe a little bit of what I call YOLO money. To me, the limited is perfect for that. The limited brings you that opportunity for $97. So guess what? I'll take my shots on these penny stocks with the $97 account and see if I can get to the funded and make thousands for my family, right? Can't be mad about that. Let's go. All right, let's see what else we got out there. CYN seems a little sideways right now. Yeah, Doug, it does. It does. What do we want to be looking for? Well, I'll tell you right now. Bigger time frames is what I'd look at. Look how it looks clean on the 15. Pretty clean there on the 15. All right, guys, it's 925. What I'm going to look for on this one is a quick sweep to the VWAP. That's 540s, but it looks good right now, already approaching the kind of the 560 area. So CYN looking good here, guys. I see the trend line on the 5-minute just broke and could pull back quickly, and it's to 530s, 520s here, and then it can go higher. So that's two tops around the 560. Going to look for a little bit of a pullback and then the move higher. 15-minute chart. Let's see if we got here about 56 cents on the average true range we can expect on 15 minutes. So 50-cent upside targets are not bad. MACD came back but never crossed on the 15. Let's go to the 5-minute here. 5-minute is about to cross, not crossed yet. So that's one thing that once I take my position, I'll need to see that crossover to give me conviction that I timed it right. And so that's another thing. If you go to the 1, you'll see that there's already been a couple of crosses where it's failed to go for the next move. So 1 cross that it failed, 2 crosses that it failed, 3 crosses that it's failed, and now it's trying to hold on to the strength right now, and it could cross over again. So that tells me more and more that this is trading a little bit on a deeper time frame. So I need to be looking more into the deeper time frames and looking for that trade to happen, right? 15-minute, 5-minute. That's going to give me a little bit better edge on this chart. Why? Because there's a lot of fake outs on the 1-minute. All right, guys, that's the assessment there. We can take a look at some other stocks, and you guys out there, throw up some stocks that you guys are watching today. Let me know what's on the radar. Of course, I'll be watching all around out there, guys. There's a lot of names to look at, so we got a lot to take a look at today. We'll keep it moving, guys. We'll keep it moving, looking around to see what else I can come up with, seeing if there's any news that I'm missing here. But we got a lot to take a look at today. Where'd my chart go here? There it is. All right, let's keep it moving. App. Let's go to app. I'm sorry about that. I know we were going to take a look at that. That's a big mover. Big move, guys. Now it's pulling back there. It's to 230s. Let's take a look at the daily chart and why we're looking at this, right? Well, you guys can see it. This one, big rounding bottom, then taking off and holding the 9 EMA. But what do you see always? That it expands away and then eventually comes back. But it's not an immediate comeback to the 9 EMA. So that's why I don't feel like this is so much like kind of a stock to short. I mean, you can try to play it off the highs, right? You can look off the highs and try to short the highs. But to me, I think I'm looking at this more in a bullish sense because it's holding the strength. The only thing is you need to look for me, is hourly long pullbacks. So where is the resistance and where can it hold? Yesterday, it had a first attempt here at 219.15s. So if I'm looking at any area, I'm looking at the 219 area as my support that it could come back to, and then I can play it. So hourly long pullback and then a play back to the upside. Right here, I can't buy this breakout to the upside. I feel like it's a trap to the upside on the 235. So I need to see a quick sweep towards the 220s, make some bulls scared, make them hit the out, and then come back to the upside. Could you short it to 220? Yes, you could play it to that and then watch the move come back there. That could be a trade today also. So it's not my cup of tea because I usually like to short stocks that I'm looking for a continuation when it does break down. But do I see the attempted maybe support approach? Yes. So that's what I see on APP. You guys, we'll see what happens on app lovin'. Definitely a big move there. One to keep an eye out for is the China stocks. They still actually did good yesterday. So Baba's still looking good here. All right, guys, there it is, guys. All right. Now we're looking, guys. We're open here. I'm going to CYN. All right, we're already approaching here. Will we get the pullback back towards the 530s here? That's what I'm looking for. Let's see if we can get it there. Could be to like 520s, 525s. I'm looking at 520s as potential buy there. Qs to the upside out the gates, guys. 508's already approaching to the upside. I seen Tesla push to the upside. CYN already going for the 580 move. Didn't cool back to the VWAP. That's what I'm looking for. A pullback into this spot here. We'll see what happens. I'm looking at the 5-minute chart. That's what I'm really watching here. Here's a pullback to 540s. Will we go to the 525 spot? I'm putting out an order at 520 right now just to have one order out there. We'll see what happens here. Trying to get the fill now towards the 527s here. Let's see if we can get 525s, 520s here. That's what I'm looking at. It's gone to the 530s, 520s multiple times here. No, doesn't hit there. It's back towards the 550s. It already bounced there. So didn't get that opportunity to grab it there. Now I'm looking for a cancel now. Cancel here until it gets towards a turnaround. So now it could come back down here. I don't want to add at the 550 spot. Wanted that entry there. Went to 529. I had orders out at 525 and 520s. But at that point, when it doesn't fill me, I want it to come down and test this support now, 515, and then whipsaw back up. So let's see if we get a nice little 515 on the bid, and then it comes right back. So here's that 525 available here. Big orders got caught there, right? And so a lot of people got caught at the 580s looking for that breakout. On the 15-minute, still no cross there, at least push to the upside expansion. You see the failed cross on the 5-minute here. I think that's important to see there, that we're not getting that cross there. Now we could reload. We could attempt to go back into this spot, this 515 area. That's what I'm looking to see, a wick there and then a move back up. All right, we'll see what happens there on CYN. Looking around at different stocks out there. DJT bouncing back today, guys. Did go down towards 30.26. It's not a bad one to watch today. Apple. Lift off in Apple, guys. Whoa. I got to take a look at that. How strong of a move is that? It's a nice dollar. Nice dollar there. And Apple is already down off the support. So big push up there on Apple, guys. Tech. It's looking good, guys. XLK, KLX. What the hell I say? XLK. XLK, right? Technology. SMH, right? Looking good today. Big push on the opening action. SOXL is going to be probably looking good. Bros is moving. Oh, the bros, guys. The Dutch bros. Oh, man, I want a coffee. I want to trade this, guys. Please alert me on bros because I want a piece of bros. Oh, my God. I love this stock, guys. If you guys don't know, this is one of my favorites. I'm in love with this, so it's not a good stock. But you guys know how it is, guys. Dutch bros. Can I get a pullback on the bros? Can I get a pullback to 45? Oh, man, that's looking hot. I'm going back to the limited, but I just put an alert there. I'll keep watch on it. CYN. Let's see if we can get it. All right, it's hit 525s multiple times here. I'm going to let it try to wash out once and then look for the quick sweep back. I could try to buy it right here at the 530s, but I would like to see it wash down towards the 515s and then come right back in a ramping action. What I'd look for is on the tape to start to see if I can see that big size fill there. And there's some big size filling right there at 530s, some size starting to line up there. It did just bounce off that 525, pretty good there. So look at all that bottoming action on the 1 minute. Let's go to the 5 minute here, see if we can see a little bit better pattern. So it would need to go from red to green. Red to green, 560 open on this candle. 560 is all the way up here. So it needs to come right back to 560 if this is going to go green candle. I think we'd still get a little bit of a 5 minute, maybe harmy candle before it starts to come right back up. So that's what I'm watching for. It's kind of a bottoming towards 520s, 515s, and then the comeback. But right now, it's just chopping around. Crossover still not happening there on CYN. All right, APP, let's go to that. APP to 240s, 250s. So big push there. The strength continued off the VWAP. It pulled back, but not far enough. Q's now pulling back. We'll see what happens there. DJT bouncing back, 31, starting to get a little bit of a strength off that 31 here. It doesn't look too bad. I might get to the main account and see if I can trade a little DJT. Liking it off the 31 right now. I'm trying to risk off this 31, but I would like to see a quick little undercut towards the VWAP, but we might not get it. It might just be an expansion away here. Looking for a little bit of a quick undercut down below the VWAP and then a scoop back. The thing is that DJT is a hard one, guys. I haven't done that great on it. So let's see what happens here. Let's go to it, guys. Let's get after it, guys. What are you guys seeing out there? If you guys see any trade you guys want to talk about, we can definitely get after it. I see a lot of you guys tuning in on Twitter also. Of course, don't forget the main chat is in our YouTube. We'll see what happens in the sectors right now, but I'm seeing the strength in the Qs, the strength in NVIDIA, the strength in Apple, the strength all around the market, and tech is just pushing strong, guys. The VIX is just dropping fast. That's probably where I could probably make money right now that I'm not, is shorting the VIX right now, and that definitely is working out. Here's that dip in DJT where I'm willing to take a shot here on the bottoming action if it starts to work back. So I'm not going on the bottoming. I'm looking for it to start to go back to green candle. If this 1 minute candle can go back to green, then I'll take the shot and then look for it to scoot back towards 32. Using this 30-50s probably as the risk there, because you got to support in the pre-market towards that 30-35 here. So you can see it's actually going red some more here. So the key there is to wait for the action to come back. Right now, it just doesn't seem like it's hit on DJT. There's another hit down. It could still scoop right back up. So that's why I'm just watching it here, but it's not really that action. You see how the cross was like holding there and it was going to come for another kind of push. Let's go to the 5 minute multiple time frame approach here. And you can see that the MACD tried to get back towards a cross and could not do it there, guys. So DJT on the downside, if anything. We'll look to see if it bounces back, but that's a little too much for me on the downside towards 30. It just becomes a little bit too much exposed on both sides here. Still could ramp back here, back towards 32. We'll see if it starts to just get some real big buys. There's 20,000 shares. Something like that could start to push it back. So someone went 20,000 shares deep. That's some strength that they're trying to buy into this dip here. Let's see if it starts to work back towards 31. 31 is really where it can get hot. It's trying to come back there. Man, that guy with 20,000, where'd he get in? What do we got there? We got 30-31. So 30-31. All right, 30-30 holding well right now. Starting to come back here. Not holding that great there. I'm going to the sectors out there to show you guys the strength that's going on right now in technology. Holy moly. I'll take a second away from my trading to show you that strength. And then there's some smaller names that are moving with it. Frey Battery, IonQ with a big breakout, guys. Big breakout in IonQ. 13% higher, hasn't even pulled back to the VWAP. This is strength. I could even maybe see this pulling back towards the VWAP now, 1733s. I'd be looking at this one for a VWAP bounce, but for right now, the strength in IonQ, big rip up there. ATCH, another one that is a smaller name at the 30-something cents. We'll see if that one gets right back to the upside. These are all in an area that's hot right now. Taking a look to see what's leading in technology. So internet content information. So you're looking at your Tempest AI doing really well up there to the 58s. Zillow doing well today, guys. Zillow. So that's just one that is an interesting play. Probably not one you're thinking about that's doing well, but it is. KMX, one that I'm looking at on the long term for a swing trade. It's looking great. How's my swing trade going in? Let's go take a look there. WBD. WBD up there to the 939s, looking for the pop above the 950s here, guys. Might take the money and run right now. This is a great trade here. Can we get it above? Can we go towards the 958s here? Woo! 948. Will we get it? Will we get the pop into the 950s here for WBD? Guys, trying to take that cash. Let's go. Pop into that 950s. Let's go, WBD. Let's go, Warner Brothers. Get that drive. Get that drive. Get that cash. All right, moving it down to the 955s, trying to get a little closer, right? Here's 948s, 948s showing up there. Let's go. Let's get that pop, Warner Brothers. Get into that 950s. Let's go. Pre-market high was 947. So looking for a little pop above the 947 here to go ahead and sell out on a nice little swing, guys. Nice little swing here. All right, what's going on in the chat? What are you guys looking at out there? There's a lot going on. I need to get back to the action. There's so much. Need to take a second and try to catch some pullbacks, some opportunities out there. The Q's just completely ripping. NVIDIA just ripping. Apple staying strong. DJT, that's the weak boy. Not going to worry about that. Now getting a little pullback in Tesla, but Tesla, the strength is strong. 289 and holding. Q's just went bananas, though. That was a nice move right out the gate. So, man, the strength continuing there. Now coming back down a little bit here on Warner Brothers. A little part of me is thinking, do I run for the 1700 or do I go for the 2000 there? Might have to just take the money and run here, but we'll see what happens. Can we get the breakout or not? Come on. Trying to let this Warner Brothers work here. All right, guys, I'll let you guys know if I'm able to close this one, but man, what a trade on this one. What a trade, guys. 944s. Can it get up there? Can we break through the 950s here? Still struggling there to break the 950s there. I'm gonna have to stop watching it. That's what it might have to take. Up 1800 on this swing from this morning, and we'll see what happens there, guys. I'm going back to the main account. Gonna go trading, guys. We'll see what happens. I'll let you guys know if that one does hit the 950s, though. And we'll probably hit it now, right? When I'm not watching it. Go for it. Go for it. Just need that pop towards like 960s, and then I'll run. I think this can get to 10 today, but I'm not going to push it because that's the max gain that I could actually have on the trade. Q's starting to pull back a little bit there. We'll see what happens there. The Q's are pulling back. Let's see if it holds that pullback there. 946 WBD. Come on, go for that 950s. There's a big order at 950s. Look at that order right there, 72,000 shares. That's why I won't go through that 950s right now. So the big seller there at the 950s, turning things around there. They're trying to hold it up. All right, guys. We'll see what happens on that one. I'm going to cancel my target profit for just a second here, just to kind of take the pressure off. We'll see what happens there. This is going to be one that could pull back a little bit here. So I'm just trying to watch it here to see if it can hold the action. Now it's pulling back. The Q's in the overall market pulling back too. Trying to secure some profit here. Just trying to consider if this extra $600 is worth it. That's what it is right now. It's an extra $600. It comes a push to 940s. Can it go for the move now? I'm going to set a stop underneath it here on the push here, but that's just to make sure I get a good gain on this. So I'm going to set it there at 1470. So looking for the push here for it to go for the breakout, but we'll see if we get it or not. All right, 960s or 930. One of the two I'm taking. So we'll see what happens there. All right, let's go back to the action. Let's go looking around. Let's go see what we can come up with in the limited account. Let's see how these smaller names kind of developed. How's CYN all the way back down to 5? Failure on that one. We'll look to see if some other ones are making a move here. Bros continuing. It pulled back to the VWAP, but didn't go far enough. It still missed it by the VWAP by a little bit there. How's Lyft? Lyft starting to pull back there. Q's staying strong here. Ulta, how's that one doing? We're going to take a look to see if Elf Beauty holding the pullback to the VWAP. Could go back towards that 117. Pacar, how's Pacar doing on the downside? Deere trying to come back up towards the 408s. It's holding in right now. There's an attempt there for Deere to take 410s here. Was on the playbook, so that's one to watch here. Clean Spark is another one to watch, right? That one's gone to 13 and above. Looking for a pullback later in the day. Look to see if I get that pullback, but Clean Spark still holding on pretty well there. What's another move here? Tesla holding in on the pullback off the 288s there. It's still holding in on that move, man. It's impressive. DXYZ. I don't know what that one is here. I'm just taking a look at it. Yeah, that one doesn't look too bad. DXYZ. Pullback to the VWAP right there off the $20 stock here. I think this one halted just a moment ago. Pulled back to the 9 EMA here. This one looks like for the main account, though. The spread's a little wide, though. You got to be careful with that. I already missed it there. A little big pop there. And look at the spread, though. Widen out, though. But it looks good there. It's just a hard trade. The spread widens out by like 40 cents on this one. So it looks good. But then when you go to actually look at the spread, that spread's going to be very hard to trade. So it's not a bad name. And it is a halter, but it doesn't mean that it's the best trade, because the truth is that the liquidity in it is very, very difficult. Under Armour doing well right now. We'll see if some of these names come back today. What's doing well? SMCI is bouncing back today. Yeah, SMCI, not too bad of a day. XLK now pulling back to the VWAP. Q's starting to pull back here. 948. SLNO. Ion Q's a rocket. Yeah, Ion Q's a freaking rocket, man. That thing, big push there. Was looking for the pullback back to the VWAP. It did get back to the VWAP here. We'll see what happens. Can it go back towards 19? Not a bad move there in Ion Q, that's for sure. CRSR with a big move there. Look at Corsair Gaming getting a nice little push. This one looks like a nice little bottoming action there on Corsair Gaming. Good action on this one, guys. Look for a pullback back towards like 650s. If I'm out of my swing trade, this could be one to look at for a swing. Deere now 410, guys. Now 410. So Deere looking good here on the break. I'm looking for a quick pullback here on Deere. If I can get a pullback to 409, 408, I'm willing. Orders out for pullback in Deere. I don't want to step up at the 410s, but it's looking like I might have to step up if I want it. So I'm going to step up at 410s, but also look for the pullback. So I just put 50 shares at 410s. I put 100 shares at 409 and 100 shares at 408. I can even go maybe 200 shares on the pullback there at the 408. So I just have a ladder set up here for any pullback to buy deer. I could also look at the XLI for that option, right? We'll see what happens here. The market is pulling back. We need to see the kind of the VWAP hold on the Qs and the SPY. The SPY looking a little bit it's like a little choppy here, but looking at the industrials are down. Trying to see this come back here towards the upside. Airlines are a little bit in the green here. Shipping ports doing well. That's what at least pushing things back to the upside. The cyclicals names though doing really well. Apparel actually doing well today on the bounce back. I know that a lot of people were hitting it because of the China retail trade, but that's actually doing pretty decent there. Home improvement stores doing well today. Home Depot, Lowe's. So it just seems like it's an all-out rally out there right now. What's doing bad? Well, financial services are red today. So they were really, really strong yesterday. So it could just be pullbacks on hourly charts. So that's one thing that I'd look at in the financials. Deer just continuing up there to 411s. I want to catch a pullback, but hey, no pullback opportunity just yet. All right, just pulled back some of my order back down towards like the 408s and the 409s. That's what I'll be looking for on deer. It just needs to pull back to the VWAP. And below VWAP, at VWAP, I'll get entries. I'll take the shot on deer today. We'll see if it pulls back there. All right, Picard down, deer going up, cat probably down also, just hanging in there. All right, we'll take a look around to see what else is making a move. How's Eli Lilly doing? Is it starting to bounce back? I know this one got hit on the earnings, but could bounce back. I mean, still Eli Lilly. It's still back down below the 200 moving average. So that's one thing to look at for investors. Gilead with a big push, guys. That's strong today, guys. There towards 98 and holding the pullback towards 96. Let's look at the 5-minute chart here. It's been holding that 98, looking like it wants to take it. We'll see if it gets a pullback to 96. That's a nice little pullback area on Gilead today. Amarin, one to take a look at, also starting to turn around. Some smaller names looking around, guys, trying to see what else is moving here. Basic materials, copper, aluminum, metals. Are we seeing the uranium trade finally come back? CCJ now starting to get a little bit of an up move here. Looks pretty good on the action. Starting to slowly climb back up here. CCJ, not a bad one to think about. What about NNE? NNE, one that I'm really keeping a close eye on. It just made a nice little pullback to the VWAP. Just bounced off of 20s. Looks pretty good to start making a move here. I like it. I like this one here, guys. I've been watching NNE for a while now. It just pulled back to 20. So that's going to be the danger zone, is that it pulls back to 20 here. This is going to have to be more of a scalp opportunity if I want to be able to grab this one. So what I'm looking at is the 9 EMA on pullbacks for ads. That's back towards 2016 here, but it could just break out through the 2050. All right, NNE, going to look to see if we can get that move back above the 2050 spot. 1, 2, 3, pulled back. A, B, C move. I'm looking for a little pullback and then to go, but it might just go right here at the 2045. This one is an interesting play there for me. NNE, guys. All right, it's going for that 2050 push right now. I'm looking for any pullback to try to get in on this. See a 2030 order out there, so let's see if it approaches that 2030s on the bid. If not, 2050s could show up, and then it could be breaking out already. I'd like the 15-minute also. It's a really nice chart from yesterday's action. When you think about it, it was down at 1850s. Now it makes sense there, and it could just drive back to 25 on the swing. You can see it's really pushing on the Bollinger Band. That shows you the momentum on the 5-minute. Love to see one more dip, kind of wash out some of the bulls here, and then I can grab it. But I'm looking at the Qs. The Qs look like they want to just push right back up here NNE still looking good. And this is also an industrial. All right, let's see if we can get that pullback back towards like 2016. It's not a bad play. It's just kind of slow now when I watch it, right? Right when I watch it, it starts getting slow there. All right, looking around, ARM being mentioned in the chat there. There's a nice push there. Nice mention this morning, ARM. Good push there. Now really starting to push. That 145 was a big level to look at. Now really starting to get off of that and reversing off of that breakdown look. So the big long-term trend line now starting to approach back towards the 160s, and big level to watch is 150. It's almost there already. I'll look for pullback after that, but look at the strength on the 9 EMA holding well. The momentum in ARM. Good call out there in ARM today. There's other ones there in that similar space, but semiconductors pushing strong here, guys. Definitely the biggest names there. Big moves. NVIDIA up. Taiwan Semiconductor up 1.5%. AMD up 1.26%, and AMD loves to be a momentum name, so keep your eyes on that. Qualcomm, that was down, is actually down from their big move. They could bounce back later in the day. They're getting hit right now. ARM is up 6%, though. That is a big move there in ARM. Big move there. All right, NNE just pulled back to that 2030 spot here. So let's see if it wants to take now 2050s and just go for the breakout. All right, thinking about taking a shot on this. There it goes to a pullback to that 2015 area. Will it come back to the 9 EMA here? Is that 2008 on the pullback? Yeah, 2008. Trying to see on the deeper time frame, the 5 minute, if it can get into this area. On the 1 minute, it wouldn't even touch this. On the 1 minute, it'd recover the 9 here and just go for it. But I'm looking for those traders to get caught and it comes back into this space. Next 15-minute candle is going to open up in 3 minutes, and so will the next 5-minute candle. Those are going to be the ones that I'll be watching to maybe take this NNE trade. Apple staying strong. Apple staying strong there. That's good for the Qs. All right, guys. Let me just take a quick peek here. We'll take a peek in a second. I believe I'm out of the swing in Warner Brothers, but let's take a quick peek here. Let's see if we got it. Ooh, we're not. We're not. Let's go looking at it. It hit me right on the head here. So I'm just going to take what I can get right now. All right, guys, just put a stop right underneath it. Now I can't lose on the position here. This is what I mean by not losing in a can't lose scenario, right? I'm in a I will not lose on this position scenario now. And look at this position, guys. Boom, just triggered out on the stop there. Wanted the 960s. It got close to my profit. If I was watching it there, I probably would have taken 958. Which would have been a nice over $2,300 win. I took there $2,000 there on Warner Brothers. What a great trade there. I'll take that any day. $2,000 on the swing account. Let's go. Let's go. Not a bad one there. All right, so I talked about how I'd like to maybe trade Bros or something like that on the swing. There was another one that I was looking at. What was the cheaper one? Doing well there. CRSR. Yeah, CRSR. So I'm going to be looking for that one to pull back to kind of the 650s, but it looks good for a break of 7 a little bit later today. So if I can get that one back at 650s, I'll take a swing on that. There's a big push in the Qs, guys. Big push in the Qs. I just got a starter there in Deer. And I'm looking also at NNE. See if I have some share size to get in NNE. All right, looking for a pullback in NNE to the support to get an entry or a quick entry and then a move back to the upside here. We'll see what happens in the market. The market's still looking good here. It's still kicking ass here. Tesla to 291. All the bears getting it stuffed in Tesla. But that was definitely a little bit of like, you know, it was a hard call earlier, but definitely they're getting the move there. 291 now, almost 292 there. It's a big push there. DJT is the one that's interesting that it just won't run. All right, so I did get a starter there in Deer. I got 100 shares at 408.80. All right, Deer already moving into the green, trying to also get NNE, trying to work that position, guys. I'd like a little bit more pullback in Deer, but I'm not getting it right now. I'm just getting a break to the upside. Thinking about stepping up in Deer, but I have a really good entry right now. I think I might just stick with the 100 shares there. Yeah, I'm just going to stick with the 100 shares there and just give myself a good potential trade there. I'll risk like 199 right now. If it comes down to 407, yeah, it'll get me out. But I'm looking for a breakout above this and a big breakout above. So I'll look for a nice like $500 trade on this. Nothing insane because the sizing would normally be a little bit bigger. So I'll still look for a nice little push there towards like 413. This could get though to 415 in an instant. So actually, I'll put 415 for right now. All right, let's go back to NNE. I'm up about $100 on that Deer. We'll see what happens there. That's in the main account. Haven't taken a trade, right? That's the first trade there. All right, let's see if NNE starts to make the move. It hasn't made the move already. I'm still looking for a little pullback, but I'm going to go ahead and try to get a starter already. Pull back here. Still trying to get a little bit of an entry here in NNE. What's going on out there? How you doing? What's going on, traders? How we doing? It's been a good day so far. Let's keep it going here. You guys see me doing different trades out there. Definitely smash the like. It's been a good day so far. We're going to keep pushing. Keep pushing. Tesla 293. What a move. What a move, guys. This NNE just was starting to move too slow for me. That's usually when it starts to ramp. Let's see if I can get this 90 MA approach. Tesla 293s, big rip there. Q's continuing the strength there. So I can see the VIX probably drop in there. We'll see if that does get the drop. It's trying to fade off the VWAP right now. If the market continues going higher, we're still looking good for the VIX to drop further. This looks like a nice fade right there. fading it right back down here. So rejecting the 34s back down to the 45 wouldn't be a bad trade, right? So there's a trade approach here. We'll see if the market turns around, but things are looking good here. It's 10 a.m., guys. Watch out. Let's see what happens if we get a turn. But right now, things are still looking awesome. Deer still working back up, looking for the push back above the 412s, going to the 415s. Big breakout. Yesterday's high, it was up there to 415.50, so I can go even higher than what I have right now. I'm watching that, guys. We'll see if we get a continued breakout here in the SPY and a VIX breakdown. So we want to see the VIX break down, and we'll see if we get that rejection there from the VIX. Q's up there strong. We'll see if we get a hard pullback, but right now things are just chomping up there. Tempest AI was doing bad this morning, but holy moly, it bounced back almost up there to 60 now. There's 511 on the Qs, so definitely watch out there. Strength coming in back into that. $961 now for Warner Brothers. So hey, maybe could have waited for it, but big move there. NNE trying to take back the 240s, trying to go ahead and take the move. This is just too slow for me on NNE. That's the problem. It gets me kind of like, let's go, let's do something. All right, looking around, guys, to see what other ones are making a move, see what other action is going on. If you guys see any move out there, big mover, let me know. I'm looking. All right, market probably gets anchored like pops on rate cuts, but then we have to watch out for the pumping pal and what he has to say. Of course, we got to watch out. It's pumping pal, man. Just got a spike there towards 240s, now pulling back a little bit. Will NNE make the move here? Man, the Qs are strong here, but VIX is strong also. All right, guys, canceling orders right now. Just looking at Deer. That's trying to make the move. Market's starting to pull back on me here, so I'm just trying to be careful. Yeah, I'm seeing that come back a little bit. Strength is still there, but there's some downside coming in here, guys. I'm going to put a really close stop out in Deer. It might get me out, but I would rather it get me out here than me trying to fight it. Qs are starting to come down, so that will actually cause the VIXie to kind of make a move there to the upside. We'll see if it actually does spike here. Look at the SPY. Quick down move now. We are getting some pullback and some action. So even ARM looks like a good pullback here. This is a quick opportunity back to the VWAP for ARM. Let's see what happens here. You see how the MACD is starting to cross, but the price is going up. This could be a little bit of a what we call a blow off top here, and then it comes back towards the bottom of the Bollinger Band. That's a move to 146. That's $5, $6 down. I might take a shot here, guys. This is the high risk strategy, though, I will say. All right. Trying to see it try to go back above this, and then when it starts to come back below the 151.84s, I'm going to go for it. Strength staying in the market. That's why I'm not doing anything right now. Look at the strength in ARM, though. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5-minute bars to the upside. All right, this could be the top right there. Will it cross back over the MACD, or will it reject the crossover and then come right back down? That's what I'm looking at here. Looking to see if the SPY and the Qs come down here a little bit. At least a pullback, right? I mean, man, the strength is strong right now. Look at the strength there, man. Now the SPY pushing right back up. You can't beat it. Can't beat it right now. This market is strong, man. The bull's out there. We'll see if things turn, but I'm watching for it. But it just doesn't want to break right now. The Qs or the SPY, they pull back and they're just like, no, never, never. Look at Deer now up $100 on that as it starts going to the 410 spot for the breakout. We'll see if it goes for the breakout, but there's a little pullback. I'm seeing the turn, but it just doesn't even want to turn, right? Like that, and that tells me something. That tells me maybe don't get in front of it. So the arm trade, I'm putting it on the sideline for right now. Look at Warner Brothers, guys. Now 970, so almost to that 10 spot. Deer now starting to really get the lift there. Let's go, Deer. Of course, Deer was on the playbook today, now towards 411, so good outlook there. Really getting a nice spike here towards the 411s. Let's see if the 412s start kicking. Then we're really up and starting to rock and roll here. 216 here. Got to make some good profits today. Let's see what we can do. There's Deer going for the break here. Let's see what it can do here. Little part of me feels like adding now on a pullback, so I'm going to set up for that. How can I add here? I can add around the 9 EMA. 9 EMA is 410s. So that's going to be my add now. 410s, 50 shares. Let's see if I get the pullback fill. If not, I'll look for this to keep going. So 410s for a pullback fill. We'll see if I get it. If not, let it just keep running. I'm trying to get a little bit of a pullback fill. We'll see what happens there. Up 250 now. Let's see if it keeps just running here. Little pullback coming in here, canceling the ad for right now. I'm just looking around out there, seeing what's going to happen here. Market's just staying strong here. The big boy that's lifting the market too is NVIDIA, man. We know how NVIDIA gets this market going. And look at the action right now. 148 to a new high, just pushing strong. We'll see if it can continue to lift there. That's what I'm watching for Deer. Just a takeoff on the daily. It could even go to 420s today, man. I mean, this is looking great here. We can get a nice big run. I'm canceling even the target profit right now. I want this to run. I don't even want to show my hands. I want this to just keep moving here. Let's see if it just keeps rocking and rolling, especially on like a 15-minute chart. 278 up right now. This is looking awesome, guys. Market starting and trying to slow down a little bit there. We'll see what happens, but the Qs are just so strong that I don't see it slowing down any bit. A lot of volume, though, did just come in there around the 594s on the SPY. That's one thing I'll note. So if we do get a turn, it's because that big volume that went in there. But the strength is it's strong, guys. And this is why I wanted to pay attention. And I talked about it yesterday before the open. Probably didn't trade the best yesterday to the upside, but upside is what made sense. Trump comes in. What happened last time? It was important. That's what's happened this time. All right, what's going on out there, guys? No QA today from Powell? No, I don't believe that. There always is a QA from Powell. He's not going to take questions today? Let me know if that's true, because that'd be something else. Wow, BNZI down 10% on the day now. That's how it is, guys. What are you guys looking at out there? Ideas on Geo. You can take a look at it. NVIDIA flexing its muscles. Yeah, it is. Bulls on the parade. They are. 411s now. 411.60s now on Deer. Let's go, Deer. Let's go. Look at the market. SPY trying to push some more here. Let's go. Let's go, market. Get it going there. All right, guys. So what we're going to do on this deer trade is there's two options here. There's add at 410 or set a stop loss at 410. I'm going to go for the stop loss at 409.80s here. Why? I'm just trying to go ahead and say, deer, if you want to keep running, run for it. If not, come back and get me out, right? So I can go ahead and do that, especially as the market keeps kind of slowing up over here. Just want to make sure that I at least have some profits. But for any reason, the SPY just keeps breaking highs. Deer can break the high right now and really do the expansion. So the expansion is a flag from 408 to 411. So $3 from that gets us up towards that 413. And then we start going to yesterday's high, which was 415. And that could be a takeout of that big resistance level. And where did I put this up? On our playbook this morning. If you guys don't watch on our Twitter, you're missing out, right? Like always, guys, definitely check out the Twitter. I'll show you guys the action right now from my Twitter here. And I got to go ahead and get the retweet out there. I know we put it out this morning. It's looking great here too. All right, so every morning, guys, you guys can catch this on our Twitter. And what did I put? Long clean spark there, long Google, long deer. These were the ones that I was looking for. And we'll be watching to see if we can break past the resistance at 412, where it recently fell short. Great setup if momentum can keep pushing in the sector. We'll see what happens there. Clean spark. Can that keep running? Find out, team. All right, let's go towards the small account and go looking to see if I can find a trade there. I'm seeing the Qs start to pull back. That is one thing that I'm seeing. And look at the pullback there. Now it's starting to pull back a little bit faster here, guys. So I might have to take the money and run here. We'll see if I can hit on the pullback. I'm going to take that minimum $100 here. But all right, looking around, ARM will be looking interesting as it starts to turn around there, but that's not a really trade that I want to take too much of. The reason why is I mistimed it already, and now to go after it, I feel like I'm chasing. I'm not going to do that. All right, let's look around. Let's look at other trades and see what's going on this pullback. We should start to see a little bit of some pullback. How did App Lovin go? Got up there to the 255, has made 1, 2, 3 runs today. Now could start to pull back there. We'll see what happens there on App Loving. This one's a harder trade, though, for sure, the short. But as the market comes down here, if it does pull back, this could be the one that starts to break down here. It's not a bad trade there, but it's a difficult trade to take, right? It's like shorting momentum, and it's really kind of low percentage inaccuracy. That's why I'm not trying to take that one. How did NNE work out there? I wanted to take the trade, but it never really kind of developed, and it did do an attempted breakout to 2060 and now pulling back. We'll see if it can continue. It doesn't look bad. It's just so slow for me. It's hard for me to take that type of trade. I need to go with bigger sizing, and then the 5-cent spread doesn't make me feel excited about it. So that's NNE. We'll see what happens on that nuclear play. SMR is another one to keep an eye out in the nuclear space. CCJ also, I was talking about that earlier, did do a nice spike to 53. We saw it at 52.50s, but then pulled back here. Tesla, the dragon continues, guys. 494 now, 495 almost. Talked about how Tesla could keep running. There's no reason why it can't run. 300 could be in play. Even on a day like today, man, the strength there is impressive. Strong move there in the Qs, bouncing back in the SPY. We'll see if it does come back down below the kind of the 593 would be a little bit of an area of concern, but the SPY holding well right now on pullbacks. You can see the SPY there, 594. All right, going to the limited account. I'm just going to put a stop break even here. If I see hard action in the SPY to the downside, I'll go try to protect deer. But right now, I'm just trying to see that the SPY holds in, and it could still do a kind of a VWAP pullback and still hold in. It is slowing down up here, but man, the strength has been relentless. We'll see what happens on that. That's why you see the VIX just hanging out there. That's why I think the VIX is just hanging out there just in case it comes down, but I'm not feeling too confident of a move back down. We'll see what happens there. ARM starting to come back in. Look how the SPY, it makes these attempt down, but it quickly gets scooped back. Quickly gets scooped back. All right, let's go looking at some of these smaller names, see what we're finding out there. What are you guys seeing out there? Bros, the bros, man. The bros. I missed the bros today, guys. I missed the bros. Should have been watching that. Dutch bros. All right, going to the limited account. Let's see what's going on with these smaller names. BNZI, nowhere to be found, guys. Nowhere to be found. That thing did not go anywhere. Just dropped like a tank. What else is making a move? Anything making a move out there? Let me look into my scanner here. See what I can find. All right, let's go to the scanners here. See what's up. See what's making moves here. ENCSC. This is a penny stock that was down around 80 cents. I could see it making a run to $1. It did eventually make a run to $1. In the pre-market, I was looking at this one in the 70 cents, looking and thinking about trading it. It's now holding the VWAP off of at 81 cents. Could go for a $1 move here. This is not looking too bad. This is one that's moving right now. Ooh, just pulled back off that 90 cents there. We'll see if it does reclaim that, but that was a little bit of a tough move on that pullback because you went for a trend line approach and now you're pulling back off of it. So look at the 15-minute. Would want to see that hold the 9 EMA there, not break the 77. Let's see if it does go for the drive now that it just did a quick little kind of whip out. So if I took this, I'd have to risk off the 77. That was a tough action move there on ENSC. Looking around at some other ones to see what else is making a move there. Looking around, I'm trying to see what's on the scanners, what's actually making sense there. REBN, Reborn Coffee, trying to come back to $2. Not much there, guys. What are you guys seeing out in the scanners out there? I'm seeing on the top 10, definitely Dutch Bros, the top stock in the market right now, or at least one of them. And that should have been a nice trade there for me. Zillow Group continuing the strength here. Ion Q. What happened with Ion Q? What a strong puppy that one was today, from 17 to 1940s. So monster move that. That still hasn't even come back to VWAP. The strength just continuing in Ion Q up. This thing just ripping higher, guys. Ripping. We'll see what happens if this starts to turn back to the downside. But man, the strength has not let up on that one. PLNT, Planet Fitness, getting a little bit of a juice today. I think they did an acquisition. Elf Beauty now holding on there. Did Ulta Beauty take off there? It's at the 390s. Could make a move back towards the opening price. The opening shot up where it went to 393.90. 393.93. That's a hard one to say. So let's see if this one just scoops back up here off of the 390s and makes the move. Q's struggling a little bit. We'll look to see if Deere can hang on. I have a break-even stop. I'm just letting that trying to run today. Lyft is down a little bit there, pulling back. Uber's down off of that. 74s. We'll see if it bounces. Looking around, guys, it's just not seeing much on the scanners there. WBuy. Let's take a look at that one. There's a 50 cent. There's a penny stock for real running here off the 50 cent spot there. Look at that big spike around the 40s. Can this one really get going here? I mean, it was a big spike. A lot of volume in on that. We Buy Global. Don't know it, but it's trying to make the move there. 50 cents is the name, the ticker there. SMCX for SMCI kind of play. How is SMCI doing there? It's doing well. Not a bad day there for SMCI. All right, guys, 10:24. I want to check up with you guys. How we doing out there, traders? Morning to you, Carolyn. Did you trade NMHI? Is that one it? Natural Miracle Holdings. Don't know that one, but another penny stock on the pullback. 15-minute chart looks pretty decent, actually. Doesn't look bad. It could have come back to 27, and it didn't come back there. So that's like the good like kind of support level here. Could come right back up there towards like kind of maybe 50 cents today, maybe 20 cents higher here from here. Doesn't look too bad. I'd like to see it test down one more time into this spot and then reverse out of it, but not looking too bad there on that Nature Miracle Holdings. One thing I try to remember when I'm trading these though is I got to get at minimum 10 cents with this account, right? That's a little bit harder on a move like this. GE recovering here. We'll see if XLI can start to really kind of recover there. Lockheed Martin was down early. Can this bounce back? The defensive trade there. How's the China name doing? Look at China starting to get back up there. BABA starting to come back towards that 100. I'm telling you guys on the swing trade idea, I feel like getting right back into BABA. So I cut it out because of yesterday's action, but it looks good, guys. It looks good. I have a feeling you'll start to see maybe China put out some stimulus and it could be right back up there at 120. I like it for like a swing trade and investment outlook. That's just my outlook. Of course, on the day trades, it's very hard to trade this one. Tesla, big rip, man. Now 295s almost. That's going to keep the Qs pumping along. ARM could just keep ripping on higher. AMD, big move there too, 149. It's been a strong day in tech. The small caps are not moving. IWM not really going anywhere. That's also another thing to think about, and the reason why you might not be seeing so many of those small caps making moves. All right, looking around there. We buy what? At 50 cents there, trying to make the move back up there towards like 60 and 70. We'll see if it makes the move there. Lunar now trying to break 9. Not a bad one there. Intuitive Machines. Nice daily chart on this thing. For a small cap name, it's actually not a bad move here. Could be on the move here, trying to get back towards a resistance. Resistance, I put it closer towards this 928. Could go even towards 990s today. Maybe a run to 10. LUNR looking really good on that push here. Held the VWAP around 860s. It's on the breakout. There goes $9. There goes 914. It's breaking out there. LUNR. Not a bad name. D-Dog. The D-Dog. Data Dog. Ooh, nice pullback on that action there. Could come back towards this 134. Let's take a look at the daily chart. Daily chart is looking like it wants to try to break out. Hasn't been able to break out. Why is that? Is the volume coming in? The volume is coming in for the breakout. At least it has the volume in the last couple of days, especially yesterday. So I'd really keep watch on yesterday's high. It is important to see if it can kind of hold and break that. If you look right here, yesterday I got around 132.49. So 132.49 going to be very vital. Did it even get over there? I don't see the action there. High 132. Yeah, 132.40. All right. I don't see the action there though. Maybe off of the closing action. Yeah. So let's see if we can get back through that pre-market high, like kind of this 134 spot. Back above that, you can have a daily breakout on Datadog. So it's holding in the 15 right now. On the 15, I'd like to see it hold this pullback, like this 128. Did it undercut 128? Oof, nice touch on that 5-minute pullback. So this 5-minute pullback, really good looking level. I'd like to see it hold now this 158.50. So you went back above it, right? You went below to that 128. You went back above it. You held it on this pullback. Now you'd like to see attempts, if it does come back to it, it holds that 128.50s and takes the 130. This actually looks pretty good, guys. Good eyes on this one, man. I'll tell you that. I like the setup. I like it so much, I might take a trade on it. All right, Deere looking pretty good there. Q's continuing to push. Tesla 296, almost 300 today, man. Remember yesterday I was trading that at 287s. It's crazy, but good move there. Apple continuing strength there. Let's see if Datadog goes for the move here. Datadog, the dog. Looks pretty good there. We'll see if it gets to lift there. It's definitely trading on a bigger time frame, but I like it on the 15-minute if it reclaims, especially 130. We'll see what happens there. Since I'm doing well in deer, I don't feel like taking multiple positions right now. I'm just trying to let deer work. Because if deer just continues to work, I make my money today. Can't push it when I don't need to. All right, here's one that's making a nice little lift here. CELU. This one just popped there. Now it's been popping. It's been holding in all the moves too on the 1 minute and 5 minutes. This has moved quite a few. Now on the it just got a 400,000 share order there. Could be pulling back here towards the 230s, but let's see if it really wants to get going here. A lot of volume coming in on this one. It went up there to the 270s. Let's see what happens here. Trying to see a pullback to 230s here, but it could hold 240s and then just take off here. So that's what I'm also looking at here. CELU here, guys. All right, guys, just got a starter there. Starter, only 200 shares. I want to add to this position, but looking for a little bit of a quicker pullback here. There's that 240s kind of holding in here. Let's see if we get any attempt towards 230s. Here's 230s. I'm going to add here, just adding a little bit more there, 200 shares. Now 220s here. Got to be careful. Don't want to see 210s break here. So that's the kind of the complete breakdown look here. And it's quickly breaking down here. So got to look at, see if it bounces off this kind of $2.90 MA. If not, I can get easily hit hard here. So I could add one more time, but you can see that 118, right? I've been trying to keep the wrist around that spot. And there you guys see it. Get hit there. RIP on the day, 300 down. Still up on this account, but taking a hit there on that one. And that came quickly, guys. That came quickly. I was looking for a move there, looking for a move in the smaller names. Finally, I see this one pop on the scanner, but it wasn't the right one there. So it is what it is, guys. Took a little bit of a hit there. 2 hits there on the limited account today. Up still 400 on the account, but man, I was within one reach of getting the account today. And CYN could have been that stock earlier in the pre-market. I missed the trade in the pre-market, so I'm going to put that one on me. This was more about not being ready in the morning and, hey, getting after one that really wasn't moving much. So we'll let that one go, and it is what it is. Let's go back to the main account, 310. We'll bounce back, guys. All right, 304 now for deer. So looking good on that action as it starts going to the 412s. It's looking pretty good for the breakout to the next level. So not going to trade another one on because deer is just doing that great. I'll just keep watching for the market to keep giving me the reward on deer. All right, let's see where this one could really break out to, right? I'm looking for at least 600 on this trade, but I could go for like at least 1,000 if it really wants to run. That's like closer towards like the 418s here. There's now 300 on the trade, but I'm starting to see a little bit of a pullback in the market. Yeah, SPY pulling back, everything kind of pulling back. It's looking like a 412 breakout here, but I want to make sure that I get the cash here. Market's coming down fast here, guys. Little concern here. As the market pulls back, it might give up my deer trade. So watching the action there. The VIX went down there and now could come ramping back as the market comes on the downside here. So let's see what happens. Market can hold the pullback here and then just keep going up in the channel. That's why I have my stop loss. I'm holding it right now. There's a hard action to the downside there. There's a pullback in the market. Let's see if it gets recovered here. 411.60s just hit there. That's $300. So I'm trying to at least secure like 180s here, making sure if it does turn around on me, at least I get 180 or 200 here. There's the market definitely pulling back there. Now the question is, how far will pullback will we get? Will we get? 411.60s. 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 There's a recovery immediately back up. Let's see if the SPY can break the high here. Just shake the bears. I haven't been trading on the bear side because I just don't feel it either. And so I'm just been trading on the bullish side and just trying to ride the momentum. But always aware for a turnaround, right? Nice quick recovery there. Now 411.80s there available to me. $300 essentially available to me on Deer. Let's see if this really can push. Canceled the stop loss, like I'm not holding it now. Now I'm just watching the action on the SPY and the Qs to see if they can just keep ripping higher. If I take a look at the MACD is still looking really good there on, of course, Deer. And if I look at the 5-minute, it gets a little tighter, but as long as I'm not seeing the cross right now, it's still looking good for that break above the 412s. Then we start to look for that 415. That 415 is an important level of yesterday's high action. And you got a closing price right around this 412.45 area. So this is kind of like that breakout area. If it wants to take it, it has it available to it. Let's see if it goes for the breakout and I'm able to make my money in Deer. TNA lifted off the lows. We'll see what happens. Definitely the smaller ones not cutting it today. And it just didn't seem like it was there. But the limited account, so close to trying to make that trade, right? Try to get towards that account. I'm going to keep getting after it. We'll see what happens. There's a big push to the upside. That makes me feel good in Deer. So let's see what happens if we can continue the strength in this move. All right, looking around to see what else is making a move. Our financials coming back. Remember, we talked about how they were deep red. Will they come back? If they come back, I mean, this market's ripping, rocking, and roaring. So let's start seeing if JPM can start making its way back, or will it take another leg down? If another leg down comes in on these banks, that could be what you see the weakness come back to the market. But if the strength comes back in these names and the strength's already in the rest of the market, and you guys can see that by just the way that things are trading lately. And in the last hour, I'm going to tell you guys in the last hour, utilities are leading, cyclicals are leading, energy is bouncing back, financial services starting to bounce back, communications, real estate. And the stuff that was big just pulled back, but it pulled back very small, like basic materials, technology, healthcare names, defensive names, even getting a little lift today. So that's really interesting. Healthcare names are really getting a nice push in medical distribution. Names like Cardinal Health, names like that, doing well there. McKesson Corp, not really, I mean, not the biggest day there, but watching the action there. Biotech's up. Drug manufacturers, we talked about Gilead earlier. How's Gilead doing now? Just pulled back to the 96. This was looking really strong. It's pulling back towards kind of like that 15 EMA. We'll look to see if it catches that and then starts to work back towards the upside. Bros, because I need some coffee. Bros is looking interesting there, guys. It's 10:38. Gonna keep it going, rocking and rolling. One of the strong ones of the day for sure. Tesla. Now almost 300, guys, as the strength continues. Elon, you win, guys. Elon's winning, man. That's for sure. All right, VXX starting to work its way back up. That tells me watch out, but look at the SPY, man. It just doesn't get weak. And at some point, it could give like a big bar, and that could come later in the day, right, with the FOMC. For right now, I think we're just climbing up till we get to the FOMC, and then we'll have to watch out at 2 p.m. There could be some ugly action there. All right, guys, Tesla still holding in for now. We'll see what happens if the market can just continue higher. XLI trying to push higher. That looks good there for my Deer trade. We'll see if it can keep going. Boeing even bouncing back today. That tells me something. IonQ, where'd that get up to? $20 again there. Now will that start to pull back? It's definitely starting to pull back on the MACD, trying to reload there. But if anything, it's telling me that the price is starting to break here, and it could come right back towards the VWAP. VWAP could be a move right back towards 19 and lower. So looking at it maybe as a potential quick short, that's the way I could look at it there. But I'm not going to battle that. There's just no point. CRSR, I talked about maybe potentially getting to 7. It's already there. So this looks good for a swing, but it's holding the 7 already. We'll see what happens. arm with that big move. That was a big one today, guys. Now kind of going sideways, but the strength was there. ARKK holding in today. We'll see if it can continue to go. The names that are moving there, Tempest AI, Archer, names like that. Hood. How's Clean Spark doing now? Clean Spark 1331, man. It can't stop, won't stop. Clean Sparking. All right, market's coming down here, guys. And with that being said, I got to go ahead and set a stop here for, of course, Deer, because I might get stopped out, and I'll try to get back in it. Right, that's just the truth here. But we'll see what happens if I do get cut out. I wanted to put like 180 out there. Market's recovering really quickly here. So even though we take these little hits down, the market just comes back, man. It's just wicked. Yeah, it's been wicked. Wicked indeed, man. All right, we'll see if it just keeps just chugging along, because that's what I'm seeing there. That's why I didn't even really consider the VIX. I'm looking at it and I'm like, are you going to spike? Nope. NVIDIA holding on right now. So it just seems like we're just climbing the wall of worry right now. That wall of worry is just that. Are we going to turn around? No. JPM starting to bounce back there. Those could start to bounce back. And then you're seeing these tech names or the SPY continue on. So definitely financials have pulled back. Will they continue to pull back? Will the weak stay weak, or will the weak start to get strong? If the weak start to get strong, then all the rest is on the nice breakout. Look at this OKLO utility name that is making a big push there. I know that traders were watching this one a little while ago. It's making a nice push back towards 24. ADN, another one that just recently made a nice push. Utility name. And this one was a penny name that did get a nice little lift. It's holding in on the 340s right now. Could push above the 350s. Has okay volume. Nothing crazy on the volume side of things. But just calling it out. Utilities doing pretty well here. XLU. Nice push there in the 78.33s. So utilities hanging in there. Cyclicals hanging in there. That's where you got your W buy. We'll see what happens on that one. It's been doing well, at least. Apparel manufacturing. Of course, I talked about WBD on my swing trade. Big swing trade today for me. It's pulled back to the 950s. Could it go back towards the 10 later by the day? Q's continuing there. Looks good on that nice push towards the upside. So canceling my stop at the time being. Just trying to let Deer just continue to work higher. NVIDIA catching a little bit of that pullback there. Apple now right at the VWAP. Will it get the lift? I think this is a trade opportunity itself. And then what was the one earlier? Datadog. Datadog. That's the one I like. Let's go trade Datadog. Let's try the Datadog. DDOG. Let's go. 100 shares. All right. 38. I like it. Let's go. Long Datadog, 128.38, 100 shares. It could really give me a nice reward back towards the top. That's like $100, $200. I want to start seeing it get back above the 128.50s, and then I can maybe go for an ad there. Really risking off the bottom action right now, 127.80 area. But I really like the way this is set up. It's a nice trade right now to begin with. The risk really 127.50s. That's about 80 bucks. I do want to add on this position and look for the move higher, but the market just has to just keep chugging along, and it needs to find a trend line buy back through like 129, and then 130 is where it can get hot to go for that 133. So I like this position. Someone brought it up in the chat earlier. I've been waiting for the move. It's starting to cross on the MACD. That's my action. That's what tells me go for it, Mitch. All right, here's the 128.50 starting to show up for me. So in a second, I'm going to take an ad if I have it available. There it is, 128.80s there really quickly. So putting it on 128.48s on that pullback. Let's see if I get the fill on the pullback. So I'm just throwing it up on the bid here. Try to add on this position here. Let's see if I can get the add to 128.50. Don't want to step up at the 128.80s because if I do that, that's easy way to get out. So in the chat, my man Kevin, bringing up the stock, the data dog, the dog out there. Smash it up, guys. Let's go. Let's go. What's going on, man? How we doing out there? A little bit of some whipsaw action out there and definitely continuing the upside. Let's see. Let's see it. Looking like it's trying to give me that pullback fill here. See if I can get that pullback fill here on Data Dog. Spreads widening out, not giving me the fill right now. I'm looking at the action here and on kind of the depth here, and I can see 128.40s being a place where it could go to. So I have the availability here. Let's see if I get it. Bringing it back a little bit off the bid here, and you can see how the bid just widened out massively, 43 cents here now. So I'm actually trying to fill below my entry here. But really what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see the offer jump back here, and then I can grab it. Big spike there in the Qs. I'm going for it here, guys. I'm going to step up to the plate. I'm just trying to get a nice little pullback fill here for Data Dog. If I got to step up to the plate, I will. Just don't want to step up there to the 80s. It's going to push me up a pretty good amount. Q's just made a nice push to the upside, so that gives me a little bit more confidence. Tesla, what a push there today, man. 297 and just keeps climbing. VIX coming back though. That's one thing. Just keeping an eye out for later. The VIX keeps holding on, so later in the day, especially with Jerome Powell speaking, we got to be careful with that. All right, pulling back a little bit off of that because I'm not getting no pullback fill. So when you don't get the pullback fill, there's no reason for me to keep trying to add, and just leave my order out there. That only aligns the algorithms to line things up to come and get me. So at this point, I just moved it down. That's all I did. I just moved it back towards like 28.40s. Here comes 128.90 showing up there. It's trying to break out here and continue to break. I like the move here. I'm just not getting any pullback on the offer. And that's not a negative thing, guys, because I'm in the green, right? I can't be trying to add if I'm getting no pullbacks. Big push up there now above the 129s there, guys. So getting the big breakout there with the Qs, that's not a bad move already. Would love to have sized in there because I'd be up 200 already on the position, but I'll take the $100 right now. All right, I'll look to see if I get a pullback here, but man, the strength is just strong right now in that Data Dog. I'm canceling my ad here now. At this point, there's no reason for me to be adding. If anything, I just need to be break even and look to see if this runs. So at this point, break even. Don't have to stress about it. Just going to let it run here and try to make me some money. Let's see where it can make me at the top end. It's 524. I'm going to go for a little bit lower around the 132.50, which would be a nice $400 trade. Let's see if it gets up there. Here's the trade, guys. This is what I'm all about. Giving you guys the transparency, telling you guys what I'm looking at. Look at it here, guys. That's the position. Stop loss placed. Looking for the continued run above the VWAP now. That's that light blue line that you see on the screen there. Would like to see it hold that 129 pullback, really take off there. It looks pretty good already. Now it just needs to keep running. Through that 130, we can start taking a look at raising the stop loss. So one thing I do sometimes is just do this, guys. So I raise the stop loss as it comes back up, and that's kind of like a trailing stop loss. But I'm really just trying to get to the point where it's at 100 and I can leave it there, right? So at least I'm making 100 on the trade, and that's 129.40s. To do that, I got to look at the spread. The spread here is 20 cents. 20 cents on average. This stock is moving about $1. So about $1.20 away from my level, I can leave this go. So let's say 129 or 129.50s, I need it to get towards like 130, and I can just drop it here, and it won't affect the price trade there. But nice little move there. 154. Q's ripping higher. SPY ripping higher. Let's go. Let's go. Where's Deer up to now? Where is Deer? That's what I want to look at. Deer. How we doing, Deer? All right, 411.50. Still haven't broke the 412s. I'm looking for that break above the 412s. Haven't gotten it yet. Starting to pull back here is Deer. So that's a little bit concerning because everything else is ripping higher, but Deer is on the pullback. It could go for a 410 kind of move where it tries to reload at 410s. So I'm going to make sure that I at least make that $100, right? So that's one thing I want to make sure of. If I need to get back in name, I can get back in. But right there, setting up the 99 out, that's 409.80s. If I need to, I can get out. Why? Because Datadog is doing so good here. Don't need to be stressing too much about a position there. All right, taking off my target profit here so I'm not showing up there and showing my hand. There comes Datadog. Can we get the move back towards the resistance here? Looking pretty good here. Starting to make that quick breakout. 130.70s now. Up about 213 here. 211. If this was the 200 shares, we're up 430s, right? And so now I'm really would be looking great and be looking for potentially a $1,000 trade at the top end. All right, going to run into some resistance here in just a second. I'm willing to make a nice little $300 trade here and then maybe just drop it, let it go here. So let's see if we can get a quick little pop here and take the $300. I'm not going to be mad. That's 131.46. Let's see if we can do it. If it would be double size, it'd be 600. That's what I'm thinking about. So I don't get too greedy on the upside. Datadog. Kevin, my man. Elf being mentioned in the chat. We'll take a look at that. All right, let's go. Datadog 131 starting to approach. It's starting to approach for the breakout here and to get me filled. Let's go. Get that breakout. Let's go. All right, looking for that nice little push towards that 131.50s. It's starting to slow down a little bit, and it's okay because this is a resistance. It's normal for it to slow down a little bit here. Let's see if it does one more kind of expansion up here, because if not, it could run into a little bit of a trend line pullback. Not trying to go in through that pullback, trying to take the money and run here. Let's see if we can get it. Datadog. The dog and the data. All right, we'll take that next leap higher here. Looking for that nice little push towards like 132s, really. I could easily push towards 132. Q's starting to pull back. That's one thing to think about. But man, they're staying strong today. I really am not trying to flip on those. Even though the VIX is going higher, until I see like a huge candle, it's going to be one of those that just got to keep watching the channel. The channel just keeps going on the 5-minute. There's pullbacks, but as soon as it pulls back, it gets the next buy. So that's something to think about. There's a nice little push there in Datadog. I'm going to cancel my target profit right now. Just looking around to see, hey, can you give me that pop above the 131? Then from there, where's the size? And I see 131.17. And maybe 131.30s, but there's not much there. So it can go through it if it wants to. There's not like a big resistance here at 131. There was a big resistance, big seller at 131. I'd probably just take it right now. Not a bad day overall. You guys see me taking multiple trades, not as big as I wanted to, so maybe not making as much as I want to here. But the idea is still to trade it the same. Here's that 131 look on Datadog. You're getting that push. It's at 130.98. You got a lot of volume in on this grind higher. So I'm just looking to see if it can stay up on the top end of the Bollinger Band, hold the 90 MA pullbacks. That's especially important right now. That'd be a 130.16 pullback. Looking for the takeout of that 131 towards 132. Of course, I think this is also a big daily level to look for. right? So if you look at the daily level back towards that level, you're going to 133s. And I mean, you are on a daily breakout. So that's one thing that I'm also looking for on Datadog. It's a big level, man. A lot of people watching this. Let's go. Break that 131. SPY slowing down a little bit here, but just trying to keep grinding it. Look at Deer almost coming back and getting me, guys. So Deer is starting to pull back there. Could hit me on the stop loss, and the stop loss would be in the green, but just want to kind of note that, right? SPY trying to hold on there. Could pull back a little bit here. We'll see what happens. Deer is on the VWAP here, so it's more, do I want to hold on here? All right, guys, I'm going to pull it back to break even on Deer. It might get me out break even, but the truth is with Deer, the spread is wide and it's going to hunt me if I'm sitting right underneath it. So got to determine if I'm okay with getting $0 from Deer, and I am, because this one's a bigger trade for me. I think this one could really kind of hold on here. If the market continues to break out, it could be at like 415, 420 tomorrow. So on Datadog, I'm continuing to watch it too. But 2 trades on right now, just trying to focus on Deer also. And you can see it pulled back to the VWAP there. So I'm looking to see if it can at least hold kind of more of a 15-minute approach. 15-minute approach would hold the pullback to 409.50s and then make the move back through 412. I'm in at 408, so I can hold off of that pullback there towards the VWAP, which is at 409.50s, and then look to see if it pops back up. Back through 411, I can even add, or maybe 412, take an add on this to really make the big win. Let's go back to Datadog. Let's go focus on that. There's the pullback there for the 9 EMA approach, and I talked about it just a second ago here. So got to look to see if it can hold that pullback and make the pressure move right back to the upside. All right, guys, not a bad day for me out there, guys. It's about what we got here. It's 10:57. Gonna start wrapping it up, guys. It's been a good day. Q's strength continuing. The biggest and best trade today, definitely in the swing account. The swing account, guys, nice $2,000 on that Warner Brothers trade, and that was just from this morning, so not a bad trade for a couple hours to make $2,000. I'm going to let that one go. Not a bad one there. We'll see what happens there on Warner Brothers if it wants to continue. On the limited account, man, battle is on, guys. I've been battling back and forth. 2 times I've been into the 800s. Now back down towards 445, like close to 450, right? So we'll see what happens there. How can I bounce back, man? I just got to continue to look for those pre-market trades. That has been the ones that I've been nailing on these penny names. Today, I didn't see any opportunity except that one opportunity that I saw in CYN, but I just wasn't at the table or at the desk at the time. So 2 losses there, 144, 162 out there. Max loss type of day, but that's what the account is made for. Also, the account protected me today in losing more. If the account didn't have that risk limit, guess what? I lose more today, and I lose maybe that other 400 that I have right there, right? So, all right, looking at Datadog right back up. So that looks good there for that trade to continue going. Let's see if we can break above this 131 and keep grinding higher back towards the high and maybe even above the high here. So let's see if it can break out above this 131 and go for another momentum push. Next layer from here is going to run into the 131.50s. And then from that, we could really go up towards like 133s. Let's see if we just make this really nice push about $2. Q's trying to hold on and continue higher at 512s. 130.70 is holding up here for Datadog. It's been up close to that 131. It was just up there. Let's see if it takes it now. Went to 130.90s here. So looking for that to get on the next push here. And Deer back up a little bit. So at least bouncing a little bit on the VWAP. Would like to see it come back to 412, of course, but we'll see what happens on that. All right, guys, it's 10:59. I'm going to wrap it up here. We'll be going and, of course, continuing on the Discord side of things. So if you don't know our Discord, definitely check out our Discord. Should be in the description below on the YouTube side of things. If not, reach out to us. Of course, Tim runs that and a couple of others that really help him out. If you guys haven't checked out the Discord, you're missing out, guys, because that's really where things continue going right here on Trade the Pool. So I hope you guys enjoyed the trading action. I tried my hardest like I do every single day, and I'm going to continue battling with you guys out there. I hope you guys enjoy and appreciate the way that we battle right here on this stream and show you it all, right? Wins or losses, right? That's what it's all about. We're going to get some losses. Can we control them? Can we take the upswings? Can we make that money? We'll find out what happens. Like always, stay right here, Trade the Pool. And if for any reason you're new to the show, hit that subscribe already. What are you waiting for? We'll see you guys back tomorrow. Hit that like before you get out of here to support the show and show them you want to keep Money Mitch on. And that's what it's all about, man. I'll see you guys back. Hit the like. Let's keep it going. Trade the Pool.